What's up, community? How everyone is feeling today? Welcome back to another live stream. Happy how the live stream was successful yesterday. I was just checking the timings today and we streamed for 3 hours. Isn't that crazy? How is the music, by the way? Is the music okay? Is the sound okay? How everyone is feeling today? Duke10, happy to see again you on the stream. Nice to see you again. Mora, welcome to the stream. Arthur, welcome to the stream again. Pick and Flow, always here. Welcome to the stream. Arthur, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. Wow, already subscription. Thank you so much, Bunkers, for gifting literally a bunch of tier 1 subs to the audience. Thank you so much. I was literally thinking about presenting myself, but you're already nailing it. Welcome, everyone. Excited to see everyone again. Thank you, Bunkers, really, for that gift, by the way, okay? All the money I get from this Twitching thing, from this streaming channel, is literally reinvested on making the channel better, okay? So I really appreciate, you know, all the support you guys can give me. Valora, thank you as well for the gifted sub. Again, I remember that yesterday you were already, you know, subscribing my work here on Twitch, so I really appreciate your support. Okay, Valorant, thank you so much. Tio, thank you as well for the subscription Prime. You know, I appreciate your support. All the money I'm getting from Twitch, I really just reinvest it on making the stream better. So thank you so much. Someone is saying that the music is a little bit too loud, so I'm gonna make it a little bit lower for you, okay? There we go, my friend, there we go. Should be a little bit better now, okay? Anyway, excited to see everyone again. Arthur again, Matt, Leod, welcome to the stream. Jonas, welcome to the stream again. Excited to see you, you know, on the stream again. Bonkers, Adrian as well. Sarkle, welcome to the stream. Charlie, French boy, welcome from France. I used to live in France, by the way, close to Paris. So, you know, excited to see someone from France here. Welcome to the stream. Hemelin Dev, welcome to the stream as well. Sarker, Bonkers again. Arthur, Adrian, Pick and Flow, Eduardo, yeah, welcome to the stream. Josh, nice to see you, dude. Welcome to the stream as well. And today, dude, I'm excited, man. We are going to react to PrimeaGen actually trying Laravel for the first time. So, you know, I'm excited about this because we have reacted in the past to one video of PrimeaGen actually trying PHP, but we have never actually seen PrimeaGen trying Laravel itself. So I feel it will be very exciting to see, you know, someone who, with his experience, actually trying Laravel. You know what I mean? From YouTube, we have Mohamed Bakahet. Welcome to the stream, which is a subscriber from my YouTube channel, also a member, which have early access to all the videos. So, you know, welcome to the stream. Here, welcome to the stream, Konstantin Ross, which was one of the contributors yesterday to the package. Welcome to the stream as well. Golan, welcome to the stream. Hubert, Hadi, and Vitali. Welcome, everyone. Excited to see everyone here, by the way. So, I don't know if you guys saw, but literally today we had PrimeaGen literally making a full stream about Laravel. And I cannot wait to see that stream. I'm gonna be honest with you, during the afternoon I was with family because I'm literally on vacations. So I was basically with my nephews just playing a little bit of soccer and, you know, just playing some chess as well. And it was basically a family day. But now I do have some time to watch the stream and I'm insanely excited to see what PrimeaGen thinks about Laravel. You know, I don't know if it was overwhelming. I don't know if it was too much. I don't know if you find it simple. Excited to see his reactions, and I thought about, you know, bringing that content today to the stream. Okay, just a small chat about yesterday. Yesterday we have built literally an open source package on stream. And that was super exciting to see that we actually have made good progress. And we also saw a lot of contributions coming from the community, which, you know, it was really helpful to see everyone literally trying to help. Pick and Flow, thank you so much for the gifted subs once again. I feel you literally just gift subs every single day. So I really appreciate your support. You know, you are literally one of the OGs of the channel, but also one of the early supporters of the channel. So thank you so much for that. Okay. Sebastian Perez, welcome to the stream. Vitali, welcome to the stream as well. And you know, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to just literally jump into reacting to some content of ThePrimeagen. So I have literally the stream ready. So if we move here to Safari, we should actually see already ThePrimeagen, okay? And we are going to jump into this immediately today. Jonas Brandy, thank you so much for the subscription on Twitch. You are also one of the OGs of this channel, so I really appreciate your support, not only financially, but also from being here from day one. Really appreciate that. So thank you so much. And wow, we have like a hype train hardcore at the moment. We are close to 200 subscribers on Twitch, which is pretty crazy. Sebastian Perez is saying, speak in Portuguese. Unfortunately, most of my audience is actually you know, not a non-Portuguese speaker. As such, I actually need to speak English so everyone can follow the live stream. You know what I mean? Matro, you actually would like to see me play chess? I mean, I'm not good playing chess, by the way, but I do have an account on chess.com and actually play a little bit from time to time, okay? All right, dudes, so this live stream, it might take a while because we are going to react to a real live stream and not to some highlights of the live stream. So this may actually take a while, and I'm curious to see, like, you know, how fun this will be. Potentially, if we think this might become a little bit, you know, boring, we may switch a little bit the live stream to some coding, you know what I mean? Let's see how it goes. Okay, you guys ready? If you're ready, just say yes, because I'm fully ready at the moment, dudes. Fully ready. All right, so this stream was literally made on X as well, so I'm gonna literally just open the tweet and, you know, just click on play here to see how Primeagen started with Laravel. And the first thing I'm noticing is that Primeagen is actually using the bootcamp from Laravel, okay? If you don't know, Laravel have this page called, if I'm not mistaken, give me a second here. bootcamplaravel.com, which some of you may actually, you know, may want to access this. I'm going to share the link here on the chat. So for those of you who have never worked with Laravel, you can literally, you know, try Laravel for the first time following this bootcamp. This bootcamp will pretty much give you a very good early start to the framework, like literally telling you most of the features, but also like what you can do with Laravel. You know what I mean? This browser is Safari Domino, okay? This is what I'm using. Jonas is saying that you also missed this live stream, so you are also looking forward to see what Prime liked or not. All right, dude, me too, man. Let's see this, man. I'm excited as well. So let's open this.
All right, so I literally know nothing about...
By the way, how the sound is. Okay, let me know if the music on background with the sound on Twitter, if everything looks okay to me, and also if my voice and Primeagen voice are at the same level, okay? Let me know. Let me know, okay, chat? Let's get started on this.
Laravel, I think the only thing I've ever done was a small amount with TJ where I wrote PHP.
I think I'm gonna put the music, either remove the music or put it like very, very low. There we go. The music, I'm going to put it very low. Otherwise, it's just too much stuff. Okay, you're saying that Primeagen is lower. Okay, let's fix that real quick. How can I fix that, actually?
.5 or no?
Okay, I don't think I can actually fix that. I mean, I can lower my microphone, you know. I can lower my microphone and potentially will work out. Let me know if it doesn't, okay? I have lowered a little bit my microphone. Let me know if that looks okay for you, okay? Let me know.
5.4, and TJ wrote the Laravel side, so I don't know how modules work. I still use require once. Like, I know nothing about PHP. Ooh. So this is real. So we're gonna do.
Oh my God! He just mentioned require once, which is something you will never do. Like PHP in 2024, you will never do a require once. And he's literally mentioning that because it was something that used to be used like literally 10 years ago, more like probably 15 years ago. Or even 20, man. Require once, it's only used by stuff like Composer, basically, internally. So, this will be fun.
Okay.
By the way, chat, you know, during the reaction to the live stream, don't hesitate on being super reactive on the chat and, you know, just tell me what you think about this.
I'm going to really do it. I'm going to learn Laravel. I'm going to learn however these imports work, which I actually don't have any idea how these imports work. We're going to figure out all the stuff, and we're going to enjoy all of it. But before I do that, I have a couple thank yous right now. All Mind Control, thank you for the resubscribed. I'm a W man, appreciate the Twitch Prime, and Alzek, thank you very much for the tier 1. But I wanted to first learn a little bit of Laravel before I did that. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? I know Taylor. I know him.
Yeah, actually, actually, I know that Taylor in the PrimeaGen, they actually have a dinner at Laracon US, and I was also on that table, and I got actually the opportunity to speak with Prime, and I feel like he was a very nice dude. So, like, obviously, something that I thought literally is that this is like a persona, but it's not. He is literally like this on real life, which is very impressive to see someone with so many energy all the time. So I was literally like on the same dinner as him, but also watching his, for example, the basketball game or some of the discussions he was having, and he is literally fully energized all the time. I don't know how he does that, by the way. I have no idea, literally no idea. Adrian is saying Laravel routes use the require. That's true, man. That's true. Although we don't use require once, I think. The coffee was asking like what replaced the require once on PHP. So now we actually have Composer behind the scenes automatically requiring the file each time you do an import. So if you do something like new user, which is literally instantiating the user class, behind the scenes, actually Composer will automatically fetch the contents of that class, of that file class, before having the class available for you. That's some sort of lazy loading that happens automatically through Composer. Yeah, it's called as well auto-loading. That's correct. Hello, Edgy Boy. Welcome to the stream, dude. Give me just a second, chat. Just 1 second here, real quick. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Lambos together. That's right. Nightshade Dude. By the way, Nightshade Dude, I do want to try to play some PoE potentially tonight and just hang out with you guys. Okay. All right. Luke, take all the yapping out, Luke. All right. Welcome to the Laravel Bootcamp. In this guide, we'll walk through building a modern Laravel application from scratch. To explore the framework, we'll build a microblogging platform called Chirper. Okay, hell yeah, brother. I love it. I don't know what microblogging is or something called Chirper. I literally have no idea what that could possibly be. Choose your own adventure. Blade, Livewire,
yeah,
or...
by the way, Chirper is literally like Twitter or a social media platform. Literally Twitter, basically, okay? So that's the goal. We call it Chirper, but the goal is literally having a Twitter or a social media application built with Laravel. You know what I mean? So you have a timeline, you can create posts, you can send emails and all those things.
JavaScript. Laravel is incredibly flexible, allowing you... I almost made the whole touch your toes joke, but I just decided not to because that would be just so... biggest hesitancy. Then I got to make a server work. Database will also be using Tailwind CSS to make it look great. If you're not sure where to start, we think Blade is the most straightforward. You can always come back and build Chirper again using Livewire or JavaScript. Okay, so maybe we should just start with Blade.
Yeah, that's something I'm always like afraid when people are trying Laravel is, you know, from one perspective, we have support for things like Livewire, but also inertia. But it feels a little bit too overwhelming for especially people who are starting with Laravel. You know, if you go through the Blade, you know, through the Blade journey, you will definitely have to handle less front-end stuff than you typically would have to do with something like inertia, for example. You know, so I have no idea which journey he will choose. I think it's just said that he will try to do through Blade, but let's see how it goes.
This feels like the right... Let's just start with what they suggest to be the first place you start with. Here, hold on. I have... here, let's take it off. Okay, so this is how they... There we go. That looks a lot nicer. Look at that little button raise, huh? Look at that little button come out. Look at that little button come out. All right. Number 2. installing Laravel, which I have not done any Laraveling. Okay, if you have,
Oh my God, something we need to keep in mind is that probably doesn't have even PHP installed, which is a little bit crazy. Like probably most of you in the chat, like how many of you actually don't work with PHP? Like, you know, if you don't work with PHP, just say something on the chat, because I feel like most of us actually work with PHP. So we even forgot like how exactly people install PHP on the laptops. We literally forgot. We have no idea almost, you know what I mean?
installed. Okay, I got to do that. I think I don't. I'm not sure if I have done that. Okay, download for Windows. Okay, so how do I do it for?
Arthur is saying he's using Linux, so PHP comes with the default with OS. Dude, but I think it's like a very old version of PHP. It's not even the latest one, I think. I'm not really sure if PHP comes by default with the you know, with Ubuntu, for example. You know,
Linux.
I know, for example, that PHP used to come with macOS, but it doesn't come anymore.
What? Okay, what's happening here? A one-click PHP development environment, 0 dependencies, 0 headaches. Do they have one for Mac OS? Do they have one that's why is it download for Windows or for Mac OS? I don't want to damage. No. I don't want to damage. Get the damage out of here. I don't even know what the damage is, to tell you the truth. Okay, so I guess we're not going to use that. So whatever that is, you already have this? Oh, I already have this? Well, hell yeah, brother. What did I get? Is that because I downloaded?
Okay, so basically we suggested Primeagen to start with Herd, and he's not happy with it because it's literally an application. You know what I mean? Bonkers is saying, I'm just setting up my new PC and I've just had all of this. It was no fun. But what are you using? Are you using Herd or are you using something else? Adrian is saying, I have PHP 8.3, baby. Yeah, PHP 8.4 is out, though. You might want to literally just try PHP 8.4. And Adrian is saying there is no Herd for Linux. Oh, really? Okay, that's surprising. So what people are using? Like literally the script thing, the PHP.new thing? Yeah, that's right. Artisan B just said, we are using now PHP.new. I'm going to like literally share that link on YouTube as well, so people have access to it as well. The coffee is saying, hey Nuno, someone that doesn't know much about PHP functions and internals, but knows only about basics like arrays, conditions, classes, functions, and things that are basic to every language. Would you recommend to start with Laravel right away, or to learn some PHP first and then go to Laravel? I would say, to be honest, if you know the basics like arrays, conditions, classes, functions, and things that are basic in every single language, I would say that you pretty much know PHP at this point, and you can literally jump to the Laravel itself already, you know, because if you are going to learn PHP like instead, I don't think we are going to teach you that much. If you already know stuff like arrays, conditions, classes, and functions and whatever, I feel you're ready for Laravel, to be honest. So, you know what I mean? Arthur is saying that I use Shump. Holy shit, dude. That feels old, man. I'm going to be honest with you. Before Herd, there was a Laravel as a banger as well. Yeah, gotcha. All right, dudes, let's go.
I did that whole dev env run PHP thing. So this gives me PHP. Where does it put it?
Wait a second.
Yeah,
how did it arrive here?
I see that. Already have this? Already have it. Oh, that whole dev env run PHP thing.
Where did he? Oh, it was something he already had.
So this gives me PHP. Where does it put it? Oh, yeah.
But what is
this?
this? Wait a second.
Okay, that whole dev env run PHP thing.
What is this, by the way? Oh, this is like the .env thing, the PHP.new thing. It must be it. It must be it.
So this gives me PHP. Where does it put it? Oh, yeah, it did. Oh, I see that. Okay, PHP Composer and Laravel have been installed successfully.
Oh my god. This is really powerful, this PHP.new thing. Oh my god, so you literally get PHP, Composer, Laravel, you know, all the certificates. but literally ready to go. Okay, this is so much better, like to literally as it
Please
gets
restart
started.
your terminal or run this. Oh, I got a new
Got you. And then if you want to go to a fully featured dev environment with something with emails and potentially with other stuff like debuggers and everything, you can install Herd. Yeah, I feel like this is just a better way to get started, literally have something running locally than probably downloading a
to update
DMG.
your path. I don't want to do that to update my path. Okay, I'm not a big fan of updating my path like that. All right, hold on. What is this one? Bash examples. All right, local bin. What is HerdLite? I don't know what HerdLite is. Ooh, PHP AnyScan. Okay, so...
Kali is saying the composer should be included on PHP official distributions. I mean, probably at this point, right? Because I cannot remember the last time I have done something with PHP without Composer at this point, right? Just out of curiosity, do you know any language that just comes with, also comes like with the package manager by default? I'm thinking about something like Rust, for example, where cargo is very like, it's pretty much all in, you know. When you start with Rust, for example, cargo, it's just there by default. It's literally impossible to do anything without cargo. So probably, you know, would make sense to have just Composer by default. So Carl J is saying that Go Long Rust and Elixir, and Slowest Side is saying Dark, and Arthur is saying Python. Interesting. Adrian is saying that PHP.new is literally heard little, and non-Laravel people don't know that. Interesting. Okay. Also, some people are saying that Node comes with npm. Interesting. Like literally, I always use, like when I'm working with JavaScript, I always use like npm is literally just in my environment, you know. When I'm working with Rust, I have cargo next to it. And also when I'm working with PHP, I always have, you know, Composer next to it as well. It's very rare, or literally never happened, that I just play with PHP without having Composer. You know what I mean? Dev, I don't know where M is saying, cargo was made for Rust devs, Composer wasn't made by Laravel. That's true. I mean, it could probably still be just there by default, you know what I mean? Patrick is saying, we can make a PHP fork that allows to develop native mobile apps with it. I guess it would be the best. I don't think it's a good idea to fork any language to begin with. You know, especially something like PHP, you definitely don't want to fork that, okay? Victor Sanchez is saying, I think the philosophy behind not having heard for Linux is you should know what you're doing if you are using Linux. Probably, you know, I remember, wait a second here. I remember using Linux and actually not being a pro, and I was using Linux because basically I didn't have a laptop to be able to have Windows or Mac OS, so... Arthur is saying, I would say that Composer is one of the things that make PHP a contestant among other languages. That's true, man. Composer is so powerful. Composer is so good. It's just impressive how good it is. I cannot remember, like, having a problem with Composer in my 20 years of career. You know what I mean? Composer is just pure gold, literally. It's pure gold. Mustafa is asking me, how do you keep yourself motivated to learn new things? Dude, I mean, I wish I would have like an answer for that. I just love to be on my laptop, and that's it. There is nothing else to say about this. Literally, I just love to be on my laptop and just talk about geek stuff. That's it. Adrian is saying, Roman once tried to build such tools for CLI, call it PHP Hub, which would bring Composer in PHP, right? Yeah.
This must be this stuff. Okay, so I don't like that they put something in profile. I don't really know what to do that. Sneakily up. So I guess what I should probably be doing is I should probably taking, let's go like this. Let's move profile. Like that. work because I thought I did a little. Oh,
Hold
no,
on.
it did. Yeah, there we go. Database SQLite. Hey. Okay. Well, here I'm gonna go to my personal, and I'm just gonna go like that. So I don't know what that's doing.
He literally never done a composer create project, so he have literally no idea what's happening here in terms of, you know, installing dependencies and things like that.
40 packages. Okay. Okay. Wait, hold on. We have a users table. Where was this created? What was it?
Yeah, Laravel comes with SQLite by default. So literally like these tables are running on SQLite. So we created the file with touch, and we literally as well running the migrations. So we are ready to go. You know, once you type composer Laravel create project or whatever, you are literally ready to go.
Oh, data.
By the way, I mean, I have pushed it so hard about SQLite. I'm actually curious if most of you today look a little bit different to SQLite, or SQLite is still seen for you guys as a toy project. I'm also curious about that.
SQLite. Hey, I know SQLite. Hey, I know that. I know SQLite. I like SQLite.
He's a big
anyways,
fan of
thank you very much.
SQLite,
By the
man.
way,
So funny.
X-Terran and Daniel, thank you very much for that Twitch chat for good highlighting. Let's go like this. TS install. Let's also do maybe PHP Doc. That seems probably like a...
Okay, probably he is clearly a user of NVim, so, or NeoVim. He is now literally, you know, configuring his IDE to work with PHP.
good plan. PHP Doc. Let's install IntelliFence.
Yeah, this is something that I don't have to do as a PHP Storm user.
Everything that you use and download and extend your project with, because it doesn't come with it, this thing...
Choa is saying, I just that I prefer to use things that are used in production, so I rather lose SQLite unless I throw away things. Well, I must be honest with you, I literally use SQLite in production sometimes. You know what I mean? I have Pinkery. Do you guys know Pinkery, by the way?
Already came
I don't know.
with
I don't know if you know Pinkery, but I have actually built a social media with Laravel. It's called Pinkery, which is this one, and it's literally running on SQLite since day one. Like, you know, for already like 6 months or whatever, a bunch of data, and it's running on SQLite. I already have to restore. Look, like the most funny story I have is that we actually had a broken migration, and restoring the database was as easy as deleting the production database and copy the restore to be the current one. That's it. So this stuff is literally running on SQLite. Pinkery.com. If you don't know this website, I'm going to post the website here for you all, so you guys can check it out, okay? It's a pretty cool website, but, you know, fully built on top of SQLite. By the way, SQLite is being used on this website for sessions, database, caching, queue jobs, everything you can think of. SQLite is powering, you know what I mean? So it's super powerful. Arthur is saying that I use SQLite only for toy projects, and bunkers agree with that. Tio is saying SQLite only for toy projects as well. Why would you use SQLite only for toy projects, man? It's so powerful. Come on, man. Raisin NNTV is saying, if you know you would use MySQL, it makes sense to develop on SQLite since it's required no config out of the box and a production change to MySQL. Now, if I'm using literally MySQL on production, I use MySQL locally. No, you know, no questions, basically, okay? Carlson is saying that he uses Postgres. Okay. Victor is saying that he uses SQLite. And Aryan is asking me if I'm using SQLite as in memory cache. No, not really. I use SQLite as database, and the cache is fetching stuff from the database. I literally have a cache table literally that has key value thing, and people, I'm using that as a cache thing. Oh my god, I'm such a power user of SQLite. I just love the easiness and the snappiness and how fast it is, it's just crazy. Oh my god, I should tell a story to people about this, that I'm literally using SQLite as a database with a cache table with a key value thing. Hilarious, man. Peak and Flow is saying, I'm interested in Postgres because it supports VectorDB now. So I want to try. Yeah, I'm going to tell you my prediction. So this is a prediction. I think Postgres is popularity on the Laravel community, at least, will grow a lot. So basically, I feel like both SQLite and Postgres will be big in 2025 on the Laravel ecosystem. And MySQL will drop a little bit. MySQL used to be the most popular, but I believe will drop a little bit, especially in this new year. Okay, but let's see how it goes.
So when I hear that, I just think there's a bunch of yapping, and that's it, okay? This is what you're doing. I want you to stop doing that. I want you, I already opened up the vendors module. It is, yeah, it's like node modules. So, anyways, let's keep on going. Okay, so you'll need a supported version of PHP before continuing. Okay, what is my PHP version?
That's a good question.
What is PHP up to these days? Okay, I got 8.4.1. Is that good?
Okay, so he's using the latest version of PHP. So probably like when he ran like the PHP new command, he got the latest version of PHP, which is pretty cool. Raisin NNTV is asking me, what makes SQLite better than MySQL in your opinion? Well, literally the snappiness of testing. So you can literally have SQLite in memory for testing. This is something you cannot have with MySQL, literally having an instance running on memory. So the snappiness of testing, the snappiness of backups, like backups in SQLite are like the most easiest thing on the planet and probably the most fastest thing on the planet as well. And you can have that running locally in your file system as well, So all this convenience of development is literally what makes SQLite so powerful. And if there is no problems, like if you don't have a lot of traffic, who cares, It's not even about traffic, it's about writing, basically. If you don't have a lot of writes, you are totally fine with it. By the way, I literally forgot to present myself, so I apologize if we have a lot of newcomers. My name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP and Laravel developer. I'm also a Laravel core team member. And today I'm reacting to someone else, call it ThePrimeagen, one of the most popular YouTubers we have, reacting to Laravel, to the Laravel framework. Okay, so we are reacting into that. I'm streaming every single day on Twitch and YouTube at 9 p.m. UTC. I'm also publishing YouTube videos every single day at 1 p.m. So if you're watching me from YouTube, give me first of all, put like on this video, but also subscribe my work if you want to, and you can also become a YouTube member. If you're watching me on Twitch, give me a follow, and you can also subscribe my channel if you want to financially support my work. And all the money I'm getting for this will be a little to make the stream better. Okay, and thank you, Jonas. Jonas is also sharing the Discord link, so I'm going to put here the Discord link so the YouTube folks can also join if they want. On this Discord, we literally discuss every single day, post streams, but also before the streams. We have a channel just for ideas, and I feel like it's a pretty cool way of interacting with the community. João Ribeiro is saying, hi Nuno, big financial companies do not accept easily SQLite because of security issues. I would be interesting to know what those security issues are about, by the way.
I think that's good. For simplicity, Composer Create Project command will automatically create a new SQLite database. By the way, I love SQLite. I know SQLite! Add database, SQLite.
I'm wondering if Primeagen is actually a big fan of SQLite, or he's just, kind of making fun of it. I believe he's a big fan of it, just,
For your application's data. After the project has been created, Laravel or start Laravel's local development server using Laravel Artisan serve command. Okay, so I do PHP Artisan serve. Okay, let's try that. PHP Artisan serve. Cool, I got it. Okay. Once you've started the Artisan development server, your application will be accessible at localhost that. Okay, localhost 8000. Oh, nice. Well, look at that. That looks beautiful. Okay. We got some documentation. We got some news. We got a vibrant ecosystem. We got Laracasts.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay, cool. Okay, good start. This is a good start. Hey, good answer.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's keep on going with this chirper business, okay? Hey, we got some chirps we need to do, okay? Good answer. All right. What is a vibrant ecosystem?
Slowest Side is saying that ThePrimeagen is a big fan of SQLite. He uses a lot with Torso. Yeah, I want to try Torso on stream. Would you guys recommend me to actually try Torso on stream? If you don't know, by the way, what is Torso about? It's literally a SQLite as a service, right? A little bit like Amazon RDS, which you can have like an external service where you create your database and you can configure backups and things like that. With Torso, you can literally have SQLite, as a service. Can you guys confirm this with me, by the way? Jean Ribeiro is saying that regarding the security issues of SQLite, that some of the problems are user credentials for database access, key rotation policies, etc. And Constantine Ross is saying, I really enjoyed the reaction format with initial input from you and from the community. Yeah, I also like to do reacts, I'm going to be honest, I don't think too much about if I'm going to have a lot of viewers checking my streams. I have put this idea in my head that when I'm going for a live stream, I must have fun. And during this 30 something live streams I've done already, there was one or two which I didn't have fun. And I feel like when I force myself doing things, it's not fun anymore, So I'm doing this reaction right now because I truly like to do two things. The first one is discussing with you. I genuinely love to discuss with the chat, literally on Twitch. It's just it's the thing I like the most, basically. And second, I am a big fan of ThePrimeagen, so I'm genuinely curious to see his reaction on Laravel, Constantine Ross is saying, if you switch for coding after the reaction, there will be probably some pull requests on Pack. I don't know if we are going to have time because we are moving slow, so I don't think so. But I will check on the next live stream, by the way, for sure. Adrian is saying Torso is good because it supports vectors. Interesting. Rudizio Hell is saying hello everyone. Nice to see you, dude. David is saying what's up? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Pig and Flow is saying, yeah, I really like the community. Everyone is awesome here. I also think about that, and I do agree with that, by the way.
Not really sure. I think it means it has bright colors. If you do not have PHP installed locally, you may develop your application using Laravel Sail, a lightweight command line interface for interacting with Laravel's default Docker deployment environment, which is compatible with all operating systems. Before we get started, make sure to install Docker for your operating system. For each alternative installation method, check out the full installation guide. So I don't know if I even have Docker currently. I'm not even sure if I've even tried. Oh, I have Docker. Okay, never mind.
He doesn't need Docker, right? Because he have installed PHP locally. So he probably forgot to read this little thing right here, which you just literally check this installation via Docker if you don't have PHP installed. So I hope he doesn't go through that way because he doesn't have to.
That was confusing. The easiest way to install Laravel is using Laravel build service, which will download and create a fresh Laravel application for you, launch a terminal, and run the following command. Well, I don't want to do that because we already have. I want to start from the beginning. Okay, I want to start from the very beginning. The very, very beginning. By the way, Jay Coos, thank you for the Twitch Prime. And Daniel, thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate that. And Not False, thank you. Left to right and just do the whole dang thing. By default, the installer will pre-configure Laravel Sail with... Interesting. That kind of seems like a strange way to go about things, but okay. Once the application's Docker containers have started, you should run your...
Yeah, I'm curious why he's talking about this, because it doesn't need to go through this way, That's why documentation sometimes is a little bit, this is something so important about documentation in general, is that you need to assume that people don't have patience to read some of the titles, for example. So he literally missed the, if you don't have the PHP locally, then go through this. And because he have missed that little sentence on top, now he's reading stuff he doesn't have to. So I hope he realizes that real soon.
Okay, we don't need to do anything with that one. All right, installing Laravel Breeze. What's Laravel Breeze? What is this? Next, we'll give your application a head start by installing Laravel Breeze. A minimal, simple implementation of all Laravel's authentication features. Oh, I love that. I love authentication.
Out of curiosity, are you guys fan of Laravel Breeze or Jetstream? Which is the one that you typically choose? I'm going to be honest, I choose Laravel Breeze 99% of the times. How about you?
Love authentication, including login, registration, password reset, email verification, and password confirmation. Once installed, you are welcome.
Oh my God, literally everyone except Jonas choose Breeze, literally. That's so true, man. Breeze is such a powerful starter kit, in my opinion, that it's literally the one I choose the most. The one thing I don't like about Jetstream, so I think Jetstream it's pretty cool. It's a very good starter kit, but definitely the fact that to modify some behavior, you need to change some of the actions through dependency injection is something that I typically, would prefer to avoid. And for that reason, I choose Breeze most of the time. João Ribeiro is saying that he uses Fortify, which is not even Breeze or Jetstream, even though it's used behind the scenes, which is interesting. Lucas Caetano is saying that he uses Breeze as well. Okay.
To customize the components to suit your needs. Okay.
He is using Breeze, which is pretty cool.
Laravel Breeze offers several options for your view layer, including Blade templates or view a React with inertia. For this tutorial, we'll be using Blade. Okay, I like this. Once a new terminal in your, open a new terminal in your Chirper project directory and install your chosen stack. Okay, here we go. So we want to do, oh, cool. Okay, so you do Composer require Laravel Breeze. Okay, so Laravel must be the home, like the name of like the owner of these package set. And then slash, and then the next thing is the name of the actual package you're installing.
That's right.
Okay, look at that. See, we've gained knowledge. Knowledge gained. There we go. I like it. Gaining knowledge. All right, there we go. We got some breeze. We're feeling breezy. Okay, awesome. And then PHP Artisan Breeze install Blade.
Moa Dagab is saying, I really miss Eloquent when I'm working with something other than Laravel. I feel you, man. Like, literally, Eloquent is probably one of the most powerful features in Laravel. Axathos is saying, I don't use a starter kit because I need to install SQLite for my authentication service. Oh, got you. Even though you can probably have Breeze and have Breeze with some disabled features like authentication, so it would literally remove all of the boilerplate that comes with auth, and you would use only SQLite for that. You know what I mean? He is such a funny guy. Toy is saying that PrimeaGen is such a funny guy. I agree with you, man. Rio is saying that I love Breeze, and if you use inertia, let's with React, and for example, you want to use Chatsien. Wait, what? I love Breeze if you use inertia. Can you just repeat everything you said? Jesus Christ. Maybe I'm a little bit sleepy at the moment. I apologize about that. Spenny is saying, or asking, where are you from? I'm from Portugal.
Now, Blade is the HTML stuff, right? Okay.
Wait a second. He went with Blade? Okay, I hope he doesn't become too overwhelming. So basically, he is a React developer. Well, at least that's what I think. He is a React developer, so I'm curious to see, how well he will adapt himself to Blade.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh my God, Blade is like the most, probably the easiest option for someone like me. But let's see.
That'd be awesome. I like PHP.
Let's see how does it feel for him, by the way.
Business on PHP. The reason why I worked at Netflix for 10.5 years is because I programmed PHP. I want you to think about that for a second. Okay.
Slowest Side is saying that ThePrimeagen is more like a HDMX guy than a React guy. Are you serious? Dude, I was so impressed by how productive the Stack Go HDMX actually is. You know, especially because the snappiness of HDMX reminds me a little bit of Alpine.js, to be honest, and it's really a cool front-end framework. And I remember like 2 years ago, people were talking about HDMX in the funny way, but when I started playing with HDMX, I was like, holy shit, like this is actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? Indeed, man, Blade is so powerful. Indeed, man. And now Release is also saying that he also feels that Blade is easier than React. I agree with you, man. Arthur is also agreeing with as well. James Dev is saying, I think it's choosing Blade because Bootcamp suggests that before Livewire and Inertia. Yeah, that's probably, you know, it started with the easiest one. Let's see how it goes.
I want you to think about that for a second. Blade is we have JSX at home. Well, okay.
Sibia Rio is saying, if you use Breeze in Inertia, let's us say React, and for example, you want to use ShadCN, you find that Breeze using Atlas UI under the hood is a little bit annoying. Yeah, I got you. Well, I know that Laravel is working on new starter kits, and I think you'll be happy with it. Okay, the new starter kits will be very powerful.
I'm not sure if I like JSX.
What do you expect, by the way, from the new starter kits in Laravel? You know, I know some information, you know, some inside information about those starter kits, and I think people will be very happy about that, by the way.
I'm still not sure how I feel about things. Breeze will install and configure your front end. The thing is, I probably do like JSX. It's just that I've been scarred from React, but I think Solid could resave me from my hate of that whole environment. Okay, so I did this one. Okay, so I don't really understand the difference between Composer and PHP Artisan yet. Right, like I don't understand these two yet, but I have them boxed up. We did use PHP Artisan to do something twice now, and I don't know why, versus Composer. So we'll just pretend like I understand that. Breeze will...
AG Zach, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Jean Miguel, welcome to the stream as well. Nice to see you here. Maple96 is asking me, which starter kit is better if you want to use Laravel only for auth and API? I would use Laravel Breeze. Breeze is definitely probably, you know, the easiest one to get started. Raisin NNTV is asking, I'm asking because I don't know. Is there already a time for those starter kits? I don't know, man. I have literally no idea. I know that one of the newcomers, Tony, is literally working on those starter kits, but I don't have visibility on terms of when they will be available. Okay. I do have visibility in terms of when I would want them. You know, I would love to have them as soon as possible, and I can promise you that once we have them available, I will live stream here, you know, playing with them, you know, on the stream. So that, I think that will be fun. Revisio is saying it would be cool to have a starter kit with inertia and TypeScript by default, but without the auth, just vanilla setup. I'm pretty sure you can have that already with literally Laravel Breeze, and you remove the auth routes and the auth components. Pick and Flow is saying, let's call Tony and tell him to hurry up. Yeah, Jonas is saying that he saw some pictures already from those starter kits and they look awesome. Jonas, can you send me that picture so I can show here on stream, like literally a link to those pictures, or the Twitter link, and I will just literally put here on the stream. Joey is saying that the next guest on stream will be Tony. AG Zach is saying that Tony is awesome. Great work with Dev Mojo. I have the Dev Dojo. I have literally no idea what Dev Dojo is, by the way. Okay, Jonas already sent me the link. I'm gonna copy the link and put here so we can take a look. Okay, these are already the links. Can you guys see it? I think you can, right? Yeah, this looks awesome, man. Just check this out. Yeah, it looks way more modern than Laravel Breeze at the moment, to be honest. Feels a lot like Shatsian, so I'm wondering if he's actually talking about that here. He doesn't, okay. But feels a little bit like Shatsian, to be honest, and which is very powerful. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's using Shatsian or something else, though. So light mode, dark mode as well, and, you know, all the UIs. This looks really cool. Yeah, very sexy, huh? In terms of what we are having for starter kits. Cool stuff. Goveda is saying it looks great. I hope he's using Shatsian. Jonas is saying that he is using Shatsian. So apparently Jonas here have some inside information about this. Gotcha.
Install and configure your front-end dependencies for you. So we just need to start a Vite development server to automatically recompile our CSS and refresh the browser when we make changes to our Blade template. npm run dev. Okay. Is that different than this?
Yes, it is.
So do we go npm run dev also?
Yes. This is very confusing for JavaScript people that they need to do npm run dev, but they also need to start Artisan serve as an X tab, basically, you know, because when you do npm run dev on JavaScript, you have literally the server running, you know what I mean? But on Laravel, you actually need to run both the server, but also npm run dev for the assets. So that might be a little bit confusing for JavaScript developers.
So does that mean I now have two things? 5.7, what was that?
There you go.
5.173, 5.173, is that? Okay. Okay.
This is
Laravel's
very
local
confusing.
development server powered by PHP built-in web server. Okay, Laravel say, oh, okay, yep. Your application's app URL is just localhost.
Just by the way, Taylor just fixed this. Now we can run Composer run dev, I think. Composer run dev, which will run both this Artisan serve, but also this npm run dev at the same time. And we also have Aaron Francis is solo package, which equally allows you to run both services at the same time.
Really, just localhost? Oh gosh, it's so bright. Oh, it's so bright. Why would you lie to me like my face like that? Just right into my face. So app URL must be something else, right? Oh my gosh, my eyeballs are actually bleeding.
Awesome. Oh my god.
Well, that seems really easy. Now that we have... Okay. Oh, look, log in and register. Wow, we got new items in here. Okay, interesting. Okay, is that from Laravel? This is what's the Laravel application in the browser. You should see a register link at the top right. Follow that to see the register form provided.
Jesus, why Twitter is always failing?
Right. Okay, cool.
I have
Awesome. Well, that
idea.
seems really easy. That seems shockingly easy. Okay, let's create an account.
Pratik is asking, what is this video? You can go to Primeagen's his Twitter. I'm literally on his Twitter watching this video.
Let's create an account.
Arthur is asking, really? That's game-changing. Assuming that you're talking about the Composer Run Dev, it's indeed game-changing. Like, it's literally a faster way to have all your dependencies running with a single Composer Run Dev command.
Oh, it's so bright. Do we have dark mode? The name is ThePrimeagen. ThePrimeagen at gmail.com. Password ASDF 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 ASDF.
I don't think he will be able to register.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, well,
Don't save that. Oh, dude, I'm logged in. Hell yeah, I'm logged in.
Chucky's face is literally not used to work with day mode on browsers or light mode, which is very surprising.
Okay, light mode. Kind of hurting the eyeballs. Kind of emotionally bruising me right now, but that's fine. Okay, we're in. All right, so now let's start creating some chirps. You're now ready to start building your application. Let's allow users to post short messages called...
What do you guys think so far? I think his experience with PHP... Now, obviously, he is a very experienced developer. So, you know, probably most of these terms were easy for him. But I feel so far it was a good experience. It was relatively fast, actually, having this up and running.
Chirps. Okay, I like this. Dude, this is kind of like... Dude, I bet you if you made a real website that allowed you to do chirps, it's like $1 billion idea.
Mohammed is asking me if I use Laravel precognition. I don't use Laravel precognition.
What do you guys think? Is it about $1 billion idea? Hey, thank you, Digital Fizz. I appreciate that. And Tech Ronde, appreciate the Twitch Prime. Would never work.
Phil is asking if I can share the Tony Is repo. It's not, I don't think it's public yet. You know, those are simply screenshots from his Twitter account. So, you know, I don't think it's public yet. Axothos is asking if, or saying that maybe chirps is not the best term, as it is used by a paradox in city skylines. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like really the term chirps. I wish this would have been just to-dos, you know? I feel like a regular to-do list is something that just resonates with everyone. Everyone knows what a to-do list is about, and I would rather have something here which says creating a to-do, showing a to-do, editing a to-do, deleting a to-do, you know what I mean? I feel a to-do list would be a way more simple example. And let's see, man, because I know we are currently working on a new website, so hopefully people are thinking about that as well, you know, literally making this bootcamp even better. It's already very good, but, you know, it could be probably even better. Arthur is saying, I think his reaction proves that Laravel documentation is just the best. I agree with you, man. Siba is saying, fun fact that I seen, fun fact, the first time I seen one of your videos, it was about precognition. Yeah, I remember that video. You're probably talking about Laravel's YouTube channel, which I was recording videos for that channel back in the days. By the way, if you just arrived to the stream, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP Laravel developer. I'm also a Laravel core team member. And today we are reacting to another developer, which is ThePrimeagen, which is a successful YouTuber, reacting to his usage or his first time usage of Laravel. Okay, and that's what you're doing today. Literally having fun, discussing a little bit on the chat, you know, excited to see everyone here. And yeah, if you enjoy my content, give me a follow. I'm streaming every single day on Twitch and YouTube at 9 p.m.
You don't think so? Dude, it'd be crazy. Like, I think there's something there. You know what I mean? 44 billion? You think 44 billion? That seems like an oddly specific number, but I think you're correct. I think you're correct. It's a chirpy idea. Yeah, let's let that chirp in. Yeah. No, Dr. What? Glad to see you finally working at Laravel after you teased it for so long ago.
Krangis is saying, I use PHP Artisan Serve, but for me, it just fails on anything else besides the port 8007. So I think the reason for that is because you are serving anything on the other ports, basically. That's why it's failing, by the way. Tua is saying, maybe as a new or junior dev, making Twitter maybe sounds more fun than the 10th to-do app. I know, man, but I personally feel that the to-do app is just a simpler example, you know? And when you have a lot to learn about, literally, you know, learn about migrations, controllers, models, Artisan, Composer. I feel like if you don't know what chirp is, it's just complicated, you know? So I think it's good already, but it probably could be better if we have used something like a to-do app. That's my opinion, okay? Diagori is saying, hi Nuno, hi Diagori, welcome to the stream, it's nice to see you. Mar is saying on YouTube that I've been following you on the other video, creating a package on GitHub, and it's good stuff. Thank you so much. So we're probably talking about Pack, which is currently a package we are working on stream, actually. And funny that I think people will find that package really helpful. At least I will for sure. So I hope other people find, that package useful as well.
Been waiting for this day. I already surpassed where Theo go before his rage. Those words. To allow users to post chirps, we'll need to create models, migrations, and controllers. Let's explore each of these concepts a little deeper. I like this. I like it. I like it. Okay. What is models?
Holy shit,
okay,
he
so
will
this
read
is
the entire
Eloquent.
thing.
This is the feature that Taylor developed that everybody hated and now everybody loves. Okay. Should I read a little bit about Eloquent before moving on? Yeah, let's read a little bit about this before going on, okay? Just so I have like a good idea of what's going on, because I feel like this is a really great way of doing things.
It's so cool that he's actually going deep on the bootcamp, literally reading every single piece of the documentation, clicking on every link. It's going slowly, Sometimes people, when they are trying new things, they are trying too fast, and then they just become biased to his previous experiences, and immediately feels bad. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if I am a C++ developer and I have never done any Laravel in my life, and I arrive here and I see stuff like models, migrations, controllers, Artisan, like all these flags and different, terminology, it will feel like a totally different thing for me. I will not understand it. But if you go slowly, if you actually give this an actual try, it will just become way easier. And I think he is doing that correctly.
Where you start here, you know what you're about to do.
Yeah, Arthur is just saying that he is literally learning Laravel without any rush. I agree with you, man. Charlie Frenchboy is saying, I totally agree, the chirps just adds more confusion. Yeah, I don't think like it's a super confusing term, but indeed I feel like using something like a to-do will be a little bit easier. That's my opinion. Doug Lopez is saying, why the heck YouTube does not allow you to go back in the live timeline? I have no idea, man. Apologize about that. Slakin saying, what repo do you recommend to learn best practices for creating Laravel applications? Repo? I don't know, man. Probably the documentation itself is a good starting point. I also have made one live stream, which I'm particularly happy about, which is live stream number 2. So on my YouTube channel, you have this lives tab, which you can click on a live number 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, we have built something from scratch. I also have another live stream about testing, which I have literally built a job board with testing and good practices. So you might want to check that out as well. Someone is saying on YouTube that when someone shows me a to-do app, in example, I always ask myself, will this software work on real-life apps? Yeah, to-do app is also seen a little bit like a toy project, but maybe it's also the easiest way of explaining things. Like if I'm trying Svelte or like a framework that I don't know, I would rather see a to-do than something else. That's my opinion, okay? Jonas is saying, I myself have been less good at really reading docs before, but today I really read them. A lot you miss when you are rushed through. Yeah, that's right, man. When we rush things, we don't get them basically. But these days, man, with short videos, our attention timestamp, it's just so small. I feel like we don't have a lot of attention to things, and especially to documentation, but I'm happy to read that you actually do not rush things anymore.
Let's get some depth going on here, and then we'll come back to this test. We'll come back to here, okay? This is previous messages. That is amazing. But Laravel includes Eloquent, an object relational mapper, an ORM. Oh, is that what ORM stands for?
Yes. You didn't know?
I've written my own ORM at one point. Brother. Ali, thank you very much. And Christoph, thank you very much. Do you know George Hotz? I mean, I know of George Hotz. That makes it enjoyable to interact with your database. When using Eloquent, each database table has a corresponding model that is used to interact with the table. In addition to retrieving records from the database table, Eloquent models allow you to insert, update, and delete records from the table as well. Okay, that seems pretty good. I like that. I like where this is going. Hold on, I have to clear up. I have to save a little bit of memory, so hold on 1 second. Highlight the tables in your database. They ensure that the same database structure exists everywhere that your application runs. Okay, cool. Migrations. I have also tried to write my own migration item. It was very hard, but it worked out. Controllers are responsible for processing requests made to your application and returning a response. I also did this. Wow, this is just like how I wrote it when I did PHP way back in the day. This is cool.
Yeah, back in the day, this was called a little bit MVC. Do you guys remember that? Like, we used to call to every Laravel, not every Laravel application, but every web application that if you want to follow good practices, it needs to have some MVC, basically. So back in the days, we used to talk a little bit about this, and even though the terminology about MVC changed a little bit over time, because now, for example, you can have Livewire applications where, you know, some of the controller aspect of it lives on the Livewire component itself. So, you know, but we still have applications that run on MVC. Laravel is still MVC to be fair, you know what I mean? Even though, again, sometimes we may not have controllers and some of the logic actually is on Livewire components, for example. But yeah, back in the days, it was totally about MVC, to be fair. Totally about MVC. Proof dev, oh well, actually, Adrian is saying, I've read Git diffs from nearly every Laravel release, and it's better than reading docs for me. Yeah, man, I also read every single changelog in Laravel, and I believe that it's super insightful to literally see what's coming new to Laravel and how that will change my Laravel way of developing. So I also think that every Laravel developer should read the changelog because you will literally learn a lot every single week. Arthur is saying, I would say that to what? I would say that the docs are just superior since touch everything on social media touches, or, well, I don't get your message. I apologize. Proofdev is saying, hi Nuno, I just finished a feature that checks the class method names using reflections. He's referring, by the way, to the pack project that we are working on at the moment. And yeah, thank you so much for finishing that feature. I will review the pull request either tomorrow on stream, or actually tomorrow I won't live stream, but on the next live stream or offline, okay? I really appreciate your work on that. Thank you so much. And I'm perfectly fine with using PHP reflections, okay? Xaven is saying, as for the YouTube live rewind question, Nuno, do you have DVR enabled on your YouTube live settings? I don't know if I have, so I will have to check that offline. Reviewer is saying, I miss old MVC. It's just very simple. Yeah, I mean, Laravel is also a little bit like old MVC, to be fair. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective. Dare232, thank you so much for the subscription on Prime. I really appreciate your support. All the money I'm getting from Twitch will be reinvested on the stream, making the stream better. So by the way, if you are an individual, you can really support my stream using two ways. One is via YouTube members, which is literally just joining my YouTube channel. You can have early access to the videos. So for example, today you can have already access to the tomorrow's video on my YouTube. You can also subscribe my work on Twitch, and that gets you off ads, basically, which is a pretty cool thing. And, you know, this is for the individuals, but if you are a company, you can literally talk to me and try to get your logo on my live streams. And I will also, you know, provide you a YouTube video about your product if that aligns with my audience. And there 232 is saying, thank you for all, for all the knowledge you are sharing with us. Thank you so much for being here, man, and welcome to the community. Someone is saying on YouTube that I remember VVM when it was advertised as a be better version of MVC. Does anyone still use it? I have no idea what is MVVM, by the way. There 232 is saying, will you do more series on Laracas? I have never done a series on Laracas, by the way. Two is saying that MVVM is view models, I think. I have no idea, man. Never use it.
Almost every feature you build will involve all of these pieces working together in harmony. Very eloquent of you. To the Artisan make model command can create them all for you at once. Okay, let's create the model migration and resource controller for our chirps with the following command. Okay, so this must mean, MRC must mean model migrations and controller, right?
That's kind of crazy, like how the...
I assume that's what it means.
How he was able to infer that, by the way.
So apparently...
literally 2 weeks ago, I learned about this, by the way. So it's kind of cool that I just literally infer that from those options.
They're saying that you can also go like this and go, help. Let's see, what do we got here? Create a new eloquent model class. Okay.
Yeah, that's
model.
interesting.
Okay.
Not a lot of people know, but you can actually use --help on every single Artisan command to literally understand all the options of that command. Exithos is saying that I like to make PHP Artisan make model foo and then -mrct. What is the T stands for, by the way? Is it testing? Generate a test. Interesting. Got you. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, by the way.
Migration sender. Okay. Ooh, there's a seeder, there's a factory, there's a policy, resource controller, and form request classes for the model. Okay, controller creates a new controller for the model. A fact.
I'm wondering if he will pass through to past PHP today or not. He have chosen actually the Composer Create project as a starter kit, so he is definitely with PHP Unit at least. I'm wondering if he will, walk through past PHP at any point today.
Oh, there's a factory for my model. I can get a factory. Wow. M for migration. Oh, what's R then? Resource. Oh, indicates that the controller generate a resource controller. Oh, okay. That seems fun. Oh, there's tests. Oh, we're not going to test that. Yeah, I would hate testing. Testing seems stupid. What a good call. What a good call. Screw that. Okay, so we're going to make a little that. We're going to have a model. So it goes into apps model. Migrations go into database migrations. Okay, creates chirps table. Oh, I bet you this is actually, I bet you all this does is grabs the database connection and then effectively just inserts our table, create table, whatever, right? Let's see, what do we get here? Yeah, so it just does a schema, create chirps, blueprint table. Ooh, I don't even know what that means. Okay, so that I don't know what that means. And why is there an Illuminati at the top? Why is the Illuminati at the top? That's, okay, so I don't understand this.
Yeah, oh my god, this is so confusing for non-PHP developers. Like, what is this stuff, But it's literally PSR4 auto-loading to auto-load those classes, and those classes are within the migrations folder, within the database component, within the Illuminate namespace. It's not something that a lot of, that typically you would see on, especially if you come from projects like, or languages like Go or Rust, where typically you have very small modules, in naming at least. You have like, DB or whatever, something really small.
I do not understand the Illuminati and why they're at the top, but that is not okay. Okay, that is not okay. I think a migration file looks better in Ruby on Rails so far. Vercel, Illuminati, Vercel, not really sure. All right, this command will create 3 files for you. Okay, that one. Timestamp. Okay. Oh, the timestamps, how they organize which migrations run first. Okay, very cool.
Someone just sent the Illuminati emoji to Twitch. Oh my god, hilarious, man. Jakey Boy, the original, is saying there is so many imports. That's true, man. Oh my god.
So they must have, I bet you there's a table, there's some hidden table called like last migration, which is probably this timestamp right here, is my guess. And then that's how they know if they need to run more migrations. How much do you want to bet that's the case? Yeah? Yeah?
I actually think we don't even use this timestamp to understand if this migration needs to be run or not. Like literally, we detect that if we have new migrations files within your migrations folder, and if those migrations haven't been run yet, we are going to run them. So I don't think we even use this timestamp. It's literally something that it's there for, you know, create some sort of unique file name, because it would never generate 2 migrations with the same name at the same timestamp at least.
Oh, yep. I bet
you might actually create the users table and then drop the table and then create it, but you would never use the same timestamp for those 3 migrations, for example.
That's how they do that. I bet you that's how they do it.
Yeah, it's also for ordering, exactly. Also for ordering, basically see like the latest migrations on the bottom. At least when I'm using PHP Storm, I'm literally seeing the latest migration on the bottom. That's right. That's right, man.
There's a table called migrations. Ah, got him. All right. Okay, that makes sense. All right. HTTP controllers, chirp controller. The HTTP controller that will take incoming requests and return responses. Nice. Okay, cool. So there's obviously some sort of router at the tippity top of all this that knows how to route things to specific areas. Okay. And I wonder what the return requirements are. Okay. Anyways, routing. We'll also need to create URLs for our controllers. We can do this by adding routes, which are managed by routes directory of your project. Okay. So they do file-based routing. File-based routing is kind of interesting until you need some sort
of... We don't actually use file-based routing, but I guess you will find out very soon. So basically we have this routes.php file, and actually it's called web.php if I'm not mistaken even. But within that file you declare your routes. We don't do file-based routes. I actually have made a pull request, but that pull request was highly rejected by the community. By the way, did you guys saw that pull request that I have added a proposal to literally make file-based routing? If you haven't checked that, most of the community literally rejected that pull request, saying that they prefer to see everything on the web PHP file. But then we came up with Volt in Folio. When I was developing Laravel 11 with Taylor, we actually came with Folio and Volt, and those are amazing alternatives to that original pull request I have made. AGZack is saying Folio does, indeed. Chu is saying it brings me back to CodeIgniter. Oh, because CodeIgniter have file-based routing. I like file-based routing. I'm gonna be honest, man. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna be honest. I like it. I like the fact that file-based routing gives you like that very early routing to the project, but you would typically be allowed to change the respective route of that controller using an attribute or a method name. You know what I mean? Tal LDT is saying, fine, I will admit it. I don't know. It was positive at first. I thought Prime was just looking at us with disgust.
Semantics on top of it. Like, one thing I've always kind of hated, generally speaking, about file-based routing is that eventually you need something more than just one route goes to one resource type location, and then you end up with this weird thing where people have these routes where the file names are like some sort of file name, and it looks like this, right? Or it does something strange like this, where it does this, and that just always ends up being annoying. It always is. It is dumb. Not in Laravel. Okay, awesome. Oh, okay, very cool. Oh, very cool. Because we're using resource controller, we can use a single route resource statement to define all the routes following a conventional URL structure.
Yeah, so he doesn't know yet. We don't use file-based routing. So let's see his reaction on this.
To start with, we're going to be able to enable two routes. Index is the route that displays our form and a listing of chirps. And store, a route that will be used for saving new chirps. Okay. We're also going to place these routes behind two...
HDMX is saying file-based routing is anti-MVC. Why do you think that is, by the way? I'm curious about that.
Middleware. Oh, gosh, middleware. I love middleware. The auth middleware ensures that only logged-in users can access the route. Oh, I like that. And verified middleware will be used to decide whether to enable email verification. Oh, yes. Okay, so let's look at this. Where is this? Okay, so this is routes web.php. Okay, I like this. I like what I'm saying here. I do have to be right back. I'm hearing some nonsense out in the shop, and I just want to make sure my kids aren't absolutely destroying everything I own, because I don't know what's happening. Please, this tutorial or not, and get deleted. Thank you, Nightshade Dude. Appreciate that. All right, so this does look good. Okay, so I do like those ones. We are also going to place these routes behind two middleware. Okay, we already talked about that. So here's this thing. Now the real question is, do I create that? Oh, wait, what? Chirper is not a Git directory. Oh my gosh. I didn't. Homestead. Okay, yeah. Okay, that all seems what? By the way, what the heck's Fleet or VS Code?
Wait, what? What is this? Oh yeah, this is the git ignore file that comes with the project by default. Surprised that we still see Homestead, by the way. I thought that wasn't a thing anymore. Does anyone still use Homestead? Because what is Homestead? Homestead is like the Vagrant solution, right? Like, used to be used back in the days. Homestead is like the Vagrant solution, right?
Or idea. Wait, actually, what is Nova?
Yeah, Toe is saying that, yeah, it was the Vagrant solution. Gotcha. In Nova, in case you don't know, is the admin panel from Laravel. So basically, I think this .gitignore contains a bunch of stuff that there is a, some likelihood that we'll end up installing, and we want to ignore that.
What is Nova? All right, there we go. Add this.
Yeah, you don't have to know for now, at least.
Okay, and there we go. All right, so do we have a web.php? We do have a web.php. So what do we have here?
Yeah, by the way, AGZAC is saying that file-based routing is against MVC. It's like you go straight to the V. However, when you have file-based route, you still have controllers. You know what I mean? It's only that those controllers will automatically being understood as a route. For example, if you have something called users controller, and that lives at the root level of your controllers directory, that would point to the user route automatically, and you wouldn't never have to put anything on the web PHP file. You know what I mean? Adrian is saying line 17 includes spotted. Oh my god, yeah, we still use require, but it's something that people rarely have to think about. That's what I meant, you know what I mean?
let's see. So we do this whole use thing. I still don't understand this, but app HTTP controllers, app HTTP controller.
Yeah, so if he doesn't understand what is use, he must have used PHP before PHP 5.3, dude. Like literally dinosaur ages, you know what I mean? Like, because using, importing something like that on top, it was like, it's old already, So the fact that he doesn't know what that is, it's kind of crazy.
Okay, so this is looking, other than this thing being a capital A and the other one being a lowercase a, the rest seems to make sense. So there must be something called profile controller.
Yeah.
Under app. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, and then there's also a loop.
Now, something I must admit, seeing people coding on NeoVim, it's kind of badass. I don't know what you guys think. Like, I use PHP Storm, in Sublime Text and VS Code, but when I see someone coding on Vim, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is badass, don't you think? Muhammad is saying, I never use it Olmsted, although I'm using Laravel since Laravel 5.5. Yeah, man, Olmsted is, used to be the solution back in the days. I don't see a lot of people using it anymore. Arthur is saying, yeah, being a NeoVim user, I agree. Joe Alternate is asking, what was that on the line 17? So on the line 17, we saw, let me still see if we can go there. Wait a second.
Which I don't even see where Illuminati's at. So
yeah, so this little thing right here is literally requiring a file. So basically, internally on the framework, we are requiring this web PHP file, which declares the routes in your project. So instead of having all the routes literally declared right here, we decided that on Laravel Breeze, we have the auth related routes in a different file. So we're including those routes on this different file, call it auth.php. In this, dir constant in PHP means the current directory. You know what I mean? HZack is saying, we are badass. Thanks, Nuno. We are still waiting on that Laravel plugin, though. You mean for NeoVim? I don't think we are ever shipping, a NeoVim plugin for Laravel. Frieden Fred is saying, I still use Olmsted until a year ago. Oh, gotcha. Because Microsoft didn't have a driver for his SQL server on Apple AMP chips. Interesting.
I don't understand this global Illuminati thing. Okay, it's very scary. It's very scary. Okay.
It's not. It's just in a module, basically. That's
All
it.
right. Anyway, so we have these following things. We have a get for get and get dashboard, and then we have middleware for auth, and then we do this whole dir, which is this like the current directory?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that must be the current directory. And then this does authentication. Okay, and then, so dir must be that. And then, of course, the dot, this must be joining two strings together. It just looks like it's actually...
Jean Ribeiro is saying, no, I just have went to the PHP docs and the use in namespaces are available after PHP 5.3. Yeah, that's right, man. PHP 5.3 was possibly one of the biggest releases of PHP ever because it introduced two things. The first one was auto-loading through use statements, but also closures, basically. So I think was from that moment that actually Taylor Otwell, the author of Laravel, decided to create Laravel because it was now possible, basically, to do something like Rails. You know what I mean? Talitid is asking if anyone here loves doing design or UX stuff, or do we all hate it? I would love to know more about design. So I know how to get a design on a web page. For example, if someone comes to me with a Figma, with the design, I know how to implement that design. I just don't have a good taste for it. You know what I mean? I don't have a good taste for designing something pretty. And I'm glad that I have people like David Hill and other designers at Laravel who come up with Figmas for me.
Doing a dot access, which is a little bit confusing to me, but I think that's what it does. I can't remember. Okay, anyways, unfortunately, yes. Okay, so I think we kind of generally got what's going on here. So let's go back to this thing and let's see what they've done. So they want us to add a chirp controller in. Okay, so let's see if we got some use app.
Oh, that's cool. That actually he will have to go through this use stuff and to see what this stuff is actually about.
HTTP. Okay, so I don't get any autocomplete here. So I don't know if that's me being bad or something else being bad. Chirp controller. That. Can I jump to it? Chirp controller. Okay, so I do have a chirp controller which has a bunch of nothing in it.
Mar is saying, I wish they would have to put a route resource into the example. It's so useful for getting people into the RESTful mindset. It is, right? But also it does create some routes that you possibly don't need. You know, I don't think I have ever used resource routes, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think I ever used them, to be honest. I always like, you know, I always have went with explicit way of doing this, getting this, we'll call this method, put this, we'll call that method, post this, we'll get that method. So I always do it a little bit more explicitly. Ducatan is saying, if you don't need any methods on the resourceful approach, you can only use only an except. I know. I just, you know, never end up using it, basically.
Cool. Okay, I do have that.
SMS Layheck is asking me if I use Breeze or your own solution for your projects. So I use Laravel Breeze most of the times, if not always. Yeah, Mar, we can use the resource only to exclude some routes. But I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't use it. Not saying it's bad, you know? I just don't use it. John is saying, who doesn't miss the globals? Oh my God, globals are the best, man.
And then I also have a models chirp, which has nothing in it. Okay. It's you being bad. Okay, it's me being bad. Even though I do have IntelliFence. Here, let's just. Okay, there we go. Well, gosh dang, we can do it. Okay, so we did a little chirp controller at the tippity top, and we're gonna do a new resource called chirps.
Oh, actually, I don't know who was saying that we don't have the resource example. We actually have one, like right here. You know. Like literally we have one example here which you also use the only thing to exclude some routes. So we actually have that example. Jean Rivero is saying that's the magic of Laravel, multiple ways of defining routes. Yeah, man.
Okay, that takes in a controller. Okay, and then only index and store. So these are the only two routes we do, and we do a middleware on these two. I would assume store is a post, but index is a get.
Get, yes, that's right.
Confusing. Okay, well, let's just try typing it ourselves. Route, and then it said resource, and inside of it, it's going to be chirps. Can I just use double quotes?
Oh my God, I feel really... the fact that it doesn't have any auto completion, but also it doesn't have any kind of AI helping him. I'm wondering if he doesn't use any kind of GitHub Copilot, for example, which is so useful. GitHub Copilot would probably just write all of the code for him right here because of the amount of people who have published the Chirps project on GitHub. Zeno is saying, I was thinking about you when I saw PrimeaGen stream earlier. Well, thank you. I think that's a good thing, I think. Welcome to the stream, man. Mar is saying, just good to know. You just look so clean. Yeah, I must agree with you. It does look clean indeed. Seeing the route resource.
And then we're going to do our chirp controller class.
Yeah,
from there,
he literally have zero autocomplete. That gives me PTSD, man. Just seeing zero autocomplete when I'm writing stuff, it's really, really different from what I'm used to, at least.
Stuff I need to do. Okay, and then we do an only.
Arthur is saying he didn't It didn't set up NeoVim for Laravel yet, so it's normal it doesn't have anything. Gotcha, man. Well, Dev Atreides, thank you so much for the gifted subs tier 1. We have, I think it's 5, so I really appreciate your support. All the money I'm getting from Twitch will be used to be reinvested on the stream, making the stream even better. Thank you so much, man. And we are very close to 200 subscribers, which is mind-blowing, considering that I've started this deal literally a month ago. Mind-blowing having 200 subscribers, so I really appreciate you all and all your support. So what is this deal, by the way, from Valorant? So basically, if someone gift us a tier 1 sub or subscribe my channel, Valorant matches that, or what happens actually? I don't get it. Oh, so every 5 subs they give 1. Interesting. That's cool to see. So how many subs do I have? I have really no idea. But I can see that, you know. I know that we were close to 200. Do we have 200 already? I have no idea. Russell Cleehit is saying that if GitHub Copilot does everything for him, then you probably don't really need to learn that much. That's a very good point. You know, I've been thinking about that. Like, GitHub Copilot for kids these days must be so hard because, for example, when I was learning programming in college and university, I was literally go through, you know, had to type my own stuff like on C, assembly classes, Java classes. I had to type my own code. And today with GitHub Copilot, you literally have everything being written for you. So you obviously don't develop that muscle memory to literally know how to type some of these things, which I'm not really sure if it's a good thing or not. Probably we don't have to know everything. Like, for example, so now we have calculators, for example, so we don't need to actually know how to divide big numbers. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think about that? Jakey Boy is the original is saying, it might be a little bit off topic, but I'm wondering if anyone else is interested in some PCR patterns. Oh, you mean like PCR coding standards and things like that? Yeah, we can do a live stream about that. Can you put that on the Discord? On the Discord, we have a channel, call it Feedback and Ideas, I think, which you can suggest your ideas. I think would be a cool thing to do. AG Zach is saying, that's why we are all that's why we are all bad at math. I was actually a very good student in math. It was the only thing I was good at, to be honest. It was math and programming. That's it. Arthur is saying that I have 200 subscribers. Well, thank you, man. I must say thanks to literally everyone who have supported me. Special thanks to obviously Peak and Flow for all the support he's giving me from since day one, to be honest. But also, you know, to the other people who have subscribed my channel. You know, I really appreciate your support. You guys are just awesome, man. Chu is asking me, just curious, did your schools also made you to write code on paper to test that you actually know the syntax and you couldn't cheat? I don't think I have ever written code on paper. It was always on the laptop, you know? So I had like, so basically every class had like two types of tests. So I have like the theory test, which will be on paper, but I also had the practical test, which would be programming on a laptop, you know? Arthur is saying, being a 17-year-old, when I first tried to code, I couldn't use ChatGPT or other things because I couldn't learn properly. Yeah, this does make sense, to be honest. Adrian is saying, I don't like GitHub Copilot. I used it for 1-2 weeks, but I had to delete it. 80% of the code generated because, you know. So what I would tell you, Adrian, is that use ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot to only autocomplete one line. Because in the reality, like, you know, ChatGPT, but also GitHub Copilot, they are literally Autocompleters. That's everything they are. They literally give you the most likelihood sentence to have after the things you are introducing, you know? So it's literally an auto-completion. So I would just recommend you to go accept only one line, in one line only, and work from there, you know? Not accept like a full controller, you know? I never do that, literally. Mohammed is saying we should probably only be allowed to use GitHub Copilot after 4 years of experience. I wouldn't go that far though. Exathos is asking me if I know the Twitch tracker for ST6 purposes. I don't use any Twitch tracker, by the way. So Alexi is saying that Valorant from Riot Games was here and gifted the sub. Oh, really? I thought it was like an automatic bot or something like that, like a promotion from Twitch. Not really, you know, not the real person, basically. It is something, it's a bot though, right? It's a computer bot that is basically going to every stream doing that, right? It's a bot, yeah, of course. 8Vidus, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you here, dude. Welcome and have fun. Jean Ribeiro is saying, hi Nuno, one of these days we are going to do a chat on my channel to give you your YouTube channel a subscriber boost. I'm close to 50k subscribers. Congratulations, by the way. And he's saying also that he uses Portuguese all the way. Interesting. I don't know your YouTube channel. Publish a link here so we can take a look. Miguel Dominguez is saying, I'm taking Masters in Software Engineer and I still have a class where the exam is writing code on paper. Dude, I have no idea how good I would be writing PHP on paper. We should do that test, like literally just have a blank sheet of paper with a pen and try to write PHP code. I think will be pseudocode. I would be very surprised if I can write fully PHP code on paper, but I will give it a try to see how it goes.
And we're going to do, what is it, index and store. Okay. And then we're going to do some more of this, which is going to be a middleware. That makes sense. Yep. We're going to do a middleware, which requires it to be authenticated, and it requires it to be verified, meaning I've done email verification, which also makes sense. And a little semicolon at the end. Okay. That seems right. Resources knows which is a get and which is a post. Ah, weird. That seems hard. But okay. Store must be something that is a post-only operation. Okay, well, give me that. So, store. Oh, there it is, right there. So I wonder if it calls this function.
I want to ask you this actually. What do you guys personally think about PHP annotations? Like this one, for example. We have a public function store or a public function create, and we all know what this is doing. And from back in the days, I was always used to write these PHP annotations to literally have, or to give some space to breathe to the code, to literally not have all the code clunky on top of each other, and always have this beautiful PHP annotations that will literally add some space to the code between all those two functions. So I was curious to know what is your opinion about those PHP annotations, and if you still use them in 2024 when coding PHP. AG Zach is saying that he always wastes time deleting comments, so you always delete them. That's right. Canada and Redizio, though, they are saying that they like to see these comments. Yeah, I still also use them. I must be honest with you all. Peak and Flow, though, is saying that I like better than PHP blogs, but I don't use them either. I don't understand the value, especially with type painting. Yeah, I get you, man. Like typically, I know exactly what you mean. Like, and I also feel like I probably should get into that of not writing that much PHP annotations. But something that I don't know if this is like a problem in my brain, you know, is that it just triggers me emotionally seeing a method with one PHP doc and seeing another method without PHP docs. You know, it's like the consistency of not seeing PHP docs on both methods. Like if they're not visually the same, it just fucks with my brain. That's it, you know, and I cannot type anymore. So I don't know if it's like a problem on myself, you know what I mean? Miguel Dominguez is saying, though, that he uses PHP Doc all the way, which is interesting. So I'd see that some people here actually like to see some of those docs. Okay, I'm not the only one, at least. By the way, so I do get, like, some people are talking about generics and array objects and key value arrays, etc., like MACD on YouTube. And I do get that value, absolutely. Like, when you're using PHP Stan, you definitely want to have some generic annotations. But I'm more talking a little bit about this kind of PHP docs that are just describing what the method is doing. And sometimes, obviously, we have this value object, for example, which has, like, a get name, for example. And, you know, what would you write on the get name, for example? You wouldn't write anything. Like, you know exactly what that method is doing. You know, I don't need to see the concrete implementation of the method to know what the method is doing. I know exactly what the method is doing. So I get that documentation on those kind of getters, for example, are totally useless, but I still put them. You know what I mean? Okay, I see, like, on the chat, especially on Twitch, some people still use them, which, I mean, I'm not the only one, it seems like. Adrian, though, says that he only uses doc blocks if type hinting is not enough. So you would typically not document a get method, a get name, for example. Oh, Ryan, though, on YouTube is saying that he doesn't use a lot, he doesn't use at all doc blocks. Magdi is saying it helps newcomers coming to a new Laravel project. Yeah, I get you, man.
I wonder if store calls that function, but an index. Oh, gosh. Okay, displays a listing of the resource. Oh, well, look, there it is right there. Look, index. And okay, wow. Okay, there we go. That feels good. I feel like I understand that. All right, so we have our chirps. So now we can do a get with chirps. Action index, chirps.index, post, chirps.store, store. Okay.
So he is still using Blade at the moment, right? So he should actually deal with some front end at the moment. Well, not front end on a typical way with JavaScript, but, you know, front end with Blade.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So oh gosh, there's that bright screen again. I really got to fix that. So if I go to chirps, there's nothing there. Okay. Why does my mouse feel laggy? Why am I lagging? What's going on with this? I open up Firefox once and it's like my whole
my
system
god,
sucks.
I know why he's not seeing anything. So basically, I've made a contribution to Laravel to literally add type hints to every, you know, every control. So, well, to be fair, I made a huge pull request on the entire Laravel ecosystem, like everything, every single package you can think of, to add type hints, to basically make Laravel fully typed everywhere. You know what I mean? The only place where the community rejected those type hints was on the controller's stubs. The only place the community rejected type hints. And now we are seeing the problem, which is he's not seeing anything. He doesn't know why. And the reason is because he's not returning anything from the index method. You know what I mean? Adrian is saying, I love you for that. Oh my God, I put so much work into that type hints deal, man. You have no idea. Because the ecosystem is so huge. And I wanted to make it in a way that it's literally type hinted everywhere. You know what I mean? Because if you add, like, you know, something I didn't want to feel is that it's partially migrated to type hints, you know? And so I literally had it everywhere, at least at the user land. Kennedy is saying that there are still some places where types are missing. So I want to clarify that. Types are added to every single user land implementation. But I mean, who cares if, like, this very file on the very back end of the framework, it's not using types? We don't care, you know? It's a little bit like JavaScript and TypeScript, where you have huge libraries today that power, you know, entire front ends written on TypeScript, but the vendor, you know, the NPM modules inside, they are still using JavaScript, you know?
Where is this all going? Do I have something that... Why is Firefox using so many units of energy? What is Firefox doing? Intense. Can we all agree that that seems a little intense? Okay, well, I guess Google.com. How I'm talking about? You know what I'm... The password is the password is Chrome now. Here, I'm going to close this for a quick second, just because that's probably going to make me log in and stuff. Hold on 1 second. Make Google the devil, bro.
I have literally no idea why...
all right, there we go.
Why Twitter is always like closing the player.
Let's move a little while.
Solid principles as well now.
Yeah, so what I was trying to explain is that if the controller stub had this response type pin to begin with, ThePrimeagen would be immediately pointed to the right direction, which is he needs to return a response. You know, that's what I meant about, you know, not having types right here. Oh, okay, gotcha. So Canada is saying, I cared a little bit about the internals having types as well because I needed to override the internal method in the trait, but I can't add types to it because the original method doesn't have types. I totally get you, man. I totally get you. I wish PHP was a little bit more liberal on that point, literally allow you to add those types, even if it's overriding some of the internals, but you know. Peek and Flow is saying, I like how the docs have a git gif diff, cool touch. Yeah, I agree, man. We can literally see how it was before and, you know, what do we need to do now. Ryan is saying that we need dark mode on Primeagen's stream, and AGZack is literally agreeing on. I agree, man.
I need some networking advice.
Oh, that is so... Said she did so many land rising. You know what's funny? If interps control... Hello. So now that I got that, I should be able to do that, right? Okay, good. I got the syntax correct. And then do we do any other syntaxing? I don't think we do any other syntaxing. Okay. So from the controller class, we do a hello world, which is an HTTP string. And then if you're logged in from earlier, you should see a message navigating. Okay, well, I'm not logged in. Oh no. Remember, I gotta get logged in. Oh, it's so bright.
It's still on the
ThePrimeagen and
on the
Gmail.
white
Why
mode.
not?
That's crazy.
Password. Oh, I gotta do a different password, huh? Register. Oh yeah.
Hello, Laravel and Taylor and Abigail.
We're chirping, brother. We're chirping. Okay, cool. Okay. So we did that. I did that. Okay, I did that one. All right, Blade, not impressed yet? Let's update index method of our chirp controller class to render a Blade view. Okay.
Hey, Prime, you get me. I have hosted.
By the way, if you just arrived to the stream, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP and a Laravel developer and also a Laravel core team member. I'm currently streaming on Twitch and YouTube. You can follow my work by literally following my Twitch and YouTube channels. I have a YouTube video every single day at 1 p.m., but also streaming every single day at 9 p.m.
In my private VPS, I am currently moving into DevOps to gain an edge.
Okay. I think it's the best. Learn from me, Epstein. No, I think you have the best. Do a view, if that's what it's saying.
Yeah, it's now literally going from response hello world to an actual view.
And then I'm going to do a view. Is that what it's saying? I think that's what I was expecting. Chirps.index. Chirps.index is what it's saying. Undefined. Oh, view. It's a view, not an HTTP. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I did that one. Oh, hey.
Word of advice.
Yeah?
I'm a junior developer. I need...
Okay. Happening.
He's actually making very good progress. Like, it's kind of crazy that he doesn't find any difficulties. I don't know if any of you have actually already seen his stream, but he is doing the tutorial like in the very good pace. He haven't found anything weird besides the use, which is a typical PHP thing, you know. I find like he's actually making good progress with the tutorial, and you know, I'm curious to see like his opinion at the end, though.
Kind of funny. Like I did that. I did the same.
I'm gonna move forward
Dark
a little
mode
bit.
select. What is this? I don't know what this means.
It's translation thing.
What is a dunder?
Now, to be fair, this is very common. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this is kind of a common terminology or a common thing to see in programming, like especially in other frameworks, to have this dash dash or this underscore underscore and function thing for translations. At least, you know, from my perspective, I've always used this little thing for translations.
Looking like it's called as a function with the word chirp. Is that supposed to be like some sort of string interpolation? I18N? Oh, okay. It's a
Alex Ferreira is saying that I did a tutorial of Chirp in like 1-2 hours and I didn't even was a PHP guy. Yeah, I did a tutorial as well, this one, because I wanted to go through the tutorial basically again. And I did a tutorial in like, I think 20 minutes, not even. It was literally copy pasting. For me, it was just so obvious. So Ryan B is saying that PrimeageN in 2025 will become a full Laravel developer. I don't know, man. He seems to be obviously a content guy, meaning that he is not focused in one technology. So I think he's just focused on every technology and trying to, you know, bring the news to every developer, you know. I also want to, you know, I want to match my streams a little bit with React like we are doing today, because I like the vibe of reacting basically, because I can discuss with the chat. I can also check a live stream. I also find that Reacts are not exhausting as coding is on live streams, for example. And I want to have that combined with regular live streams of coding, because I like to get stuff done, but, you know, with some learnings as well, like learning new technologies. And I feel like for PrimeageN, he is literally learning a new technology, and that's why he's having so much fun. So I want to combine as well, having the opportunity to learn some technologies like, you know, like we have done with Svelte, but potentially next week with Solid.js, for example, or after that week with any kind of, with other PHP framework, for example, like literally just work with different stuff. I love to do that.
translation function. Who runs the translations for Chirp? Hey, Catman Dev, thank you. Cat Devman, thank you very much. I and Tailwind at the top. So navigation, blade, and there's Chirp index.
I'm gonna move forward a little bit.
I18N, Chirps is I18N, double under request, and we're gonna do we have our own language here. Does route is determined because of web.php. We'll add that here. I'm going to put that right here. And that is because this thing determines all the available routes. So
that's crazy how fast he moves on NeoVim or Vim. Any of you uses Vim, by the way? I'm curious about that. It's just crazy how fast he moves between. I don't know what he is moving between with, like if it's using, I think it's TMUX apparently here on top, but he is moving between files like super fast, crazy fast.
Determines that it's right here, which is actually this view. Okay, I think I understand it. Chirps.index is the same thing as chirps index. Okay. Okay, so
just by the way, while some of you are answering that you use NeoVim and Vim, realistically, if I were to learn Vim on the stream, how much time it would take me to be not productive, but to be a normal guy coding on Vim? You know what I mean? How much time do you think that would take me? Like I know how to, like I know Vim a little bit, you know, I know how to move on Vim, literally move the cursor on Vim, for example, and how to go into insert mode, and I do understand like the basic stuff. But obviously here, for example, he's using a different thing, call it TMUX, which I have no idea what it is, but I assume it's just some keywords to change between tabs or whatever. So, you know, you think like potentially if we do a 3-hour stream learning Vim, that will get me a normal guy doing Vim at the end of the stream? What do you guys think? Dear232 is saying, it will take you 10 years. Are you serious right now? Oh my God. Zeno is saying 5 years minimum. Okay, I will forget the idea already. Oh my God. Oh, Gabor Dev is saying 1 hour learning though. Okay, you guys need to decide yourselves. It will take like a year or 1 day. I have no idea, man. Kran Gins is saying maybe a week specifically, depends if you want to make it like a text editor or a full development environment. Well, I feel like I do know how to use it like as a regular text editor already, so it would have to be, you know, to replace my PHP Storm potentially, you know what I mean? TMUX is a terminal multiplexer. I have no idea what the multiplexer is. Mohammed is saying, you are awesome. By the way, this is my first time on Twitch. I had to download it because you don't look at YouTube chat that much. I actually look at the same, you know, so he is basically saying that I don't look that much to YouTube chat, but I actually look at the YouTube chat as much, if not the same. They literally have two chats open, you know, right here on my window. The only thing is that the culture of streaming on Twitch is so much more powerful than in YouTube. That's the difference between YouTube and Twitch, is that on Twitch, you have a much more streaming culture where everyone just chats with you on the chat, and you have like subscribers, and you have, you know, in general, it's just a better platform for streaming. While on YouTube, just to finish, on Twitch, we also have emojis, and there is so much, you know, a better culture of streaming, basically. On YouTube, people don't talk that much, which, you know, if you are watching me on YouTube, and I know, like, I was just checking, we were close to 100 viewers, concurrent viewers, you can literally just speak with me on the chat. That's perfectly fine, okay? Juka-chan is saying, why do not invite Prime and give you a head start? I think he's a busy guy. But, you know, maybe let's put as a North Star of my streaming life, have Prime on my channel. You know, yeah, North Star will be have Prime on my channel, but also have Taylor Otwell. I feel we can, you know, there is a high likelihood that potentially someday I will have Taylor Otwell here with us. And when I'm going to have Taylor, I want to make the stream a little bit different. Like, I don't want to make an interview to Taylor, something like, where did you start it? Like, how did you know PHP? You know, what potentially triggered you to do Laravel? I think we have already seen Taylor talk about that in the past. So I would love to have Taylor to something a little bit more fun. I don't know what could be about, but I would love to have Taylor just to, you know, to do a funny stream, and we can know a little bit more about the informal Taylor I know, because he's actually a very funny guy. Ryan B is saying that regarding Vim, it's 1 hour to learn and 10 years to get perfect with the NeoVim. Alex Ferreira is saying that configuring NeoVim takes time, but you can use LazyVim, which is a NeoVim distribution. Interesting. Zach is saying the YouTube chat is way better than the Twitter chat. Oh yeah, the Twitter culture on streaming is literally not there at all. Like, I'm streaming on Twitter, so it's like, it's kind of funny because I have like literally 50K followers on Twitter, but I cannot tweet the link that I'm live because Twitter will basically punish my relevance on the timeline. So the best way of actually communicating with your community that you are live on Twitch or YouTube is literally also go live on X. That's why people go live on X, which is Twitter. So yeah, but definitely, like, if I had to rank streaming platforms, Twitch on first, YouTube on second, and X on third. Quick is also pretty cool, by the way. Kik as a streaming platform, it's also pretty cool. The only problem is that there is no one there. That's it. Ryan B is saying that getting Taylor to pair on programming with you on stream would be cool. I agree with you. I would love to have Taylor here. But yeah, like, for example, something nobody have seen ever is literally having Taylor live coding. You know, so that could be potentially a cool thing to see. Like, I could potentially expose him with a problem that is super easy to solve, something that would make him comfortable being on stream and also live coding for the first time, probably. and having Taylor just demoing that, you know, that would be cool. Exactly, Omar. I agree with you, man. All right, still about a Neon Vim. Someone is saying, Calvin is saying, TMX is like the Windows Manager, but for CLI terminal. Yeah, it's about Windows and tabs, basically, which, you know, I agree. I believe that TMX is just way more than simple tabs. I also think that TMX allows you to basically split your, you know, your existing view into 4 different tabs if you want to, which is pretty cool. MDBy is saying "Su," which is the Ronaldo celebration. By the way, if you just arrived and if you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro. I am a Laravel PHP developer with, you know, I'm also a Laravel core team member. I have more than 50 million downloads on open source, for example. And yeah, you can follow me on the platform you are watching me at the moment, either that be YouTube or on Twitch. You know, I'm streaming every single day at 9 p.m. And you can also subscribe my Twitch channel, but also become a YouTube member if you want financially support my work. And all the money I'm getting from this will be to make the stream even better. Mohammed is saying that Taylor changed the programming life in general, not only PHP, man. Yeah, Taylor is just awesome, man. Besides Taylor being, you know, I've worked with Taylor, I've coded with Taylor, and I think, like, besides Taylor being a super, you know, very good programmer overall, is also a very smart dude in everything else. So every time I'm thinking about a new feature and how a feature should be designed or our feature should exist, every insight I can get from him will be always super insightful.
Store, we're going to do like a little validate, right? So how did the validate? Message required string max. Ooh, we have our own little, oh gosh. Okay, so we have our own language here. Does this autocomplete? I'm curious if this autocompletes. Validated.
I don't think it does.
What was it?
Special on NeoVim.
Request validate.
Oh, it does.
And then how they do it? It's an array of rules. And those, or it's a...
So the VS Code plugin actually auto-completes this, but I don't think it does on PHP Storm, and I don't think it does especially on NeoVim.
Associative, it's an associative array, right? Yeah, it's an associative array, which means that I do one of those. Yeah, that's right. And then in here, I give it the rules. Now, does this thing auto-complete? I'm required, so it doesn't auto-complete, which is too bad. That'd be sweet if it auto-completed, because I don't know all these rules. So it has to be required, it has to be a string, and it has to be...
So I always use arrays here. What do you guys use? Do you guys use the pipe annotations or use arrays? I always use arrays because I typically, you know, I typically have this rule class, which I have to use at some point, and then gives me, again, PTSD of not having consistency, where, you know, like one input will have the pipe annotation and the other will have the array annotation. That gives me like immediately PTSD, and I need to have array all over the place. Duke10 is saying he uses arrays, and the Ruliot Fixer is also saying he uses arrays. Ryan B, always arrays, and well, I can see that everyone pretty much uses arrays, which is pretty cool.
Max.
Second guy is saying, how does it look like as an array? Well, it's literally like, if you know arrays in PHP, you have literally, you know, open bracket with the array, and then you would have quote string inside, and then you would have a comma, and then another quote required, for example, and then another comma. So basically, instead of having the pipe, you have literally array elements with every single validation rule. Augusto Souza is also using arrays as is a clean reading.
Whoopsies. What was the max again? The max was 255. Max 255. Is there a min? I bet you there's like a min as well. How much do you want to bet there's a min?
There is a min, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we do have that one. Oh, we have those ones. So we're going to do request the current user's chirps, and then we're going to call create on the validated. Oh. Oh.
Wait, what?
Okay. So
create on the chirps, not the validated, yeah.
The current user.
Chirps which is a relation.
Which we're going to do chirps. Oh, we're not. I must not be having good. What?
Yeah, which is, so basically you get the current auth user by doing request user, which is the current authenticated user. Then you get the chirps relation of that user, which is already declared. So at some point he actually wrote that relation. And then he calls the create method, which will associate the chirp model with the current user ID.
Whatever this is.
And the validated information here will be the only information that got validated on this validate method.
All right, so validated. Let's look at what create looks like. Currently, create
is, I mean, I'm going to be honest, like looking at this stream already, it almost seems that he have done PHP recently, but not Laravel, because he's moving fast. You know what I mean? He is literally moving fast at the moment.
Takes nothing. So my assumption is that when I call this, it's actually going to end up calling potentially this. It's going to be calling create at some point. That's my guess. I don't know yet.
AGZack is saying he didn't create the relations yet. I don't know if we have actually skipped that given step, or if he actually did it yet. We don't know. So he may have done it already, and I have literally just skipped that because I'm literally skipping some parts here. Otherwise, we stay here all day. But I think if he haven't, he will face an error real quick.
I don't know yet. Right? We'll find out. Okay. And so then we're going to do a redirect, and then we're going to do a route, and we're going to do chirps index, right? We got to go back to the original route. There we go. So I assume that's about what they wanted. Yeah, we're going to redirect to the route. Yeah, okay.
Joke6Go is saying, why don't you mention that you are the creator of Past? It's an amazing framework. Hi, Shred. I am the creator of Past, and it's an amazing framework. Thanks and welcome to the stream, by the way. Calvin is saying he have made some event together with TJ DV. Yeah, it was some sort of event with the coffee guys. I like to call them the coffee guys because they have made some coffee company, and I know they have made an event recently through that, through that coffee relation, basically. Terminal.shop, that's right. Ed Sterling is asking, what is the original video we are watching? So it probably just arrived. So if you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro, Laravel and PHP developer. And today we're watching a video from ThePrimeagen, which is a very famous YouTube streamer. And he's literally using Laravel for the first time. So if you search ThePrimeagen on Google, you will literally find his YouTube channel with, I think it's close to 1 million subscribers at this point, which is kind of crazy.
Okay. We're using Laravel's powerful validation feature to ensure that the user provides a message and that it won't exceed 255 character limit.
This is so confusing, like how actually people do this kind of stuff without using something like Laravel. You know what I mean? Like on other languages, like let's say something that typically you wouldn't use a framework like Rust or potentially Go. Like how would you validate stuff like this? Like for example, you want to validate that the given message have a minimum of characters of 3 and 255, but also starts with whatever, but also, doesn't exist already on the table. And you want to have like clear validation rule for all of this in one single line. How would you do this? It would take like literally 50 lines of code, right? So we are so lucky to have something like the validation rules in Laravel. It's kind of crazy. Intainze is asking if, I wonder if he will have problems differentiating the actual relation method, which is chirps with a parenthesis, or the call action, which is just chirps. Yeah, you might find that confusing, to be honest. Zeno is saying on Twitch, I love to your work on Artisan is my first one extension. PHP Stan and Artisan makes PHP so much better that I can even describe. Well, thank you. Really appreciate. ZBA is saying that is regarding validation rules that is Zod for JavaScript, which I think it's probably validation rules for JavaScript.
of the database column we'll be creating. Oh, I like it. We're then creating a record that will belong to the logged in user by leveraging a chirps relationship. We will define.
Babingen is asking me, I would like to ask, do you ever experience high traffic causing a system to go down when using PHP? If so, how would you handle it? So I never experienced a PHP application going down because of PHP itself. It's always because of external reasons, like the disk got full or the database is not keeping up, potentially with too much connections, for example. But never because of PHP, because PHP is literally super fast. You know what I mean? AG Zach is also saying that he's moving very fast between files, and all of that it's because of NeoVim is key bindings. Pig and Flow is also saying that he hit some DB limitations in the past many times, but never because of PHP. I also never faced problems because of PHP, to be honest. And if you ever face problems because of PHP, it's likely that you are doing some PHP codes that you shouldn't be doing to begin with. I'm going to give you an example. If you are using PHP and you are getting something like a memory exhausted, for example, that's probably because you are doing something you shouldn't do with PHP itself, or because you are making a query that you are returning too much information, for example. And if that too much information causes a memory exhausted, that means that you probably shouldn't do that query to begin with, you know? Never because of PHP itself, basically. PHP itself is super fast, and it's super cool in 2024. Bangi is saying, I got it. Thank you a lot for answering my question. You're welcome. And thanks for being on the stream, by the way.
That relationship soon. Yeah, okay, I figure so. Finally, we can return a redirect response to send the user back to the chirps index route. Okay, creating the relationship. I assume this is going to be with that create function. You may have noticed that in the previous steps we called chirps method on user. Yep, we need to create this method on the on the user model to define has many. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we haven't done this.
So someone was saying on the chat that he actually didn't yet did the relation. So he actually haven't did the relation yet. He's basically probably doing it right now.
Oh, cool. Okay. I see the we're ORMing. Oh, we are ORMing. Oh, we're ORMing. We are just so ORMing. This is models. Oh, it's models.
I don't know what plugin this is for Vim or NeoVim, which I'm still not like sure if plugins in NeoVim or Vim are the same plugins or whatever. Regardless, this little box right here is super sexy. It truly looks cool. I must be honest. This little box right here in this fuzzy search, which you can literally find any file by just typing something. Oh my God! Now you guys are giving me some motivation to learn Vim. Please stop. Oh my God.
Models, dude.
Oh, it's called Telescope. Like Telescope in Laravel, but literally like Telescope on Vim. Dude, my problem is that if I were to learn Vim on stream, I would look so noob. Like, which is not a problem, like, to be honest. I have learned other stuff on the stream, which I probably would look noob either way, right? But I would literally go from nothing. You know what I mean? Like just knowing how to move around and that's it.
So, oh, look at this. We're going to do this. Here we go. Use Illuminati / I bet you it's database / Eloquent. I bet you it's that one. And then it's going to be what? Relationships.
By the way, can any of you literally go to the Discord channel and write on ideas and feedback that you guys would like to see a stream on Vim? And potentially, I just go for it. If enough people are requesting, and if I find myself motivation to literally go into that. Miguel Dominguez is saying, memory exhausted is my day in the life of a code base done with the database and use JSON columns. Yeah, man, that's why I don't use the JSON column type in MySQL. Well, I don't use it for two reasons. First of all, I think it's credible right now, but at some point it wasn't, and it's not something supported on every database driver, so I try to avoid it. You know what I mean? Augusto Souza is saying one of the coffee boys has an advent of NeoVim series. It would be useful for you if you want to try NeoVim. Let's think about that. Let's definitely think about that. By the way, what do you mean? Because Lee Hobbs is saying it's a good idea to start with Vim motions in PHP Storm. What is motions? Like, what means Vim motions? It's like Vim key bindings in PHP Storm, like giving me the PHP Storm experience on Vim or something like that.
Relationships.
Gubordo Dev and also Leo Ops is saying that yes, it's exactly that. Literally, motions on PHP Storm is about, you know, giving you the same experience as PHP Storm, which probably would be very helpful. You know, that would be probably very helpful.
Relations, not relationships. That's very different. That's what makes many. Oh,
like you guys see when I was talking that X as a streaming platform, it's so young yet. I cannot literally watch this entire video without the movie player bugging like 50% of the times I click on play, which is a little bit crazy. Okay, so he's literally creating like the model stuff at the moment. Oh, I want to see his reaction on this stuff. Oh my god.
okay.
Like literally 50% more, 80% of the times I click on this play, it doesn't work. I don't know why. AGZack is saying, let's try it now on the live stream, do a Vim stuff. Not today, though. I promise you that I probably will bring some Vim stuff, but not today, if you don't mind. But yeah, but my experience with Vim at the moment is literally just going to my servers and, you know, have to edit files. That's the most I know on Vim. So, you know, I don't know how to locate the word, for example, and how to edit that word, but that's it, nothing else. Peak and flow about Twitter video player not working is that maybe they shouldn't fire that many devs. It's kind of crazy that Twitter now runs with only like 10% or 20% of the original staff, which is a little bit crazy. Chu is saying that this VOD is also on Twitch if this player gives you too much troubles. Okay, next time we are going to use Twitch for sure.
It's Artisan. Okay, there we go. SQLite connection. Nice. Database. Yeah, we got that one. Database SQLite. Nice. Tables. We have 9 tables. Holy moly. Table. By the way, this is very convenient.
Oh my god, watch this, man. It's crazy.
Convenient. Users. All right, so we can do this one. So we can do the users. There's 8
yeah,
columns.
something that's for sure is a little bit overwhelming, especially for someone coming from other ecosystem, is like to see so much stuff already created. Like literally we have an ID, which is auto increment. We have a name, an email verified password, remember token. Like this may seem natural for me and you, but for someone who have never done Laravel, this probably feels too much. Because for them, they are used to do everything from scratch. That's why sometimes people think or say that there is too much stuff on vendor or too much stuff on NPM modules. But it's because typically we do bootstrap a lot of things for you, so you don't have to do it. You know, that's right.
There's ID, name, email verified, password, remember token, updated at, index, primary, and users email unique.
One more time for every...
Augusto Souza asking me what keyboard am I using. I'm using the Apple keyboard, you know, literally the regular Apple keyboard. Petrovic is saying, what? I have been using Laravel since Laravel 4 and never faced this PHP Artisan DB table. Yeah, we have a bunch of DB table, but also model show and a bunch of console commands, which allows you to inspect your database, but also inspect your models and inspect a bunch of stuff, really. You know, we have this PHP Artisan, I think it's about, if I'm not mistaken, which tells you, all the drivers you are using in your application. Give it a try because it's pretty powerful.
One in the back.
What was this? What's happening?
I got really excited. Okay, I couldn't help it. I got really excited. Like, I mean, I don't know if you saw that, but they were like, yeah, and I was like, yeah.
Is it like ads or something? What is this? What's happening? What the heck?
Okay, I'll stop. Sorry.
I have no idea what happened. Like, literally no idea what happened. AG Zach is saying, this is what happens to Nuno when he tries Vim. Or this is just a Laravel effect. Oh my god.
But it seems pretty cool.
Is it just me or does Prime remind you of Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb? Think about it. Think about. You see it now.
What? Constrained cascade on delete. Constrained. And then we're going to go cascade on delete. All right. And then we had one more item. What's the other item? We want to do a string message. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So now we're gonna update our migration. It does this, but how does this work? Because
I must be honest, like PrimeaGen is top level streamer, his energy. The thing is that, like, I can probably have his energy for like 30 minutes to an hour. I think I already have like a bunch of streams which I was very energized during the live stream, and I can probably have like 30 minutes of PrimeaGen or being a little bit like PrimeaGen, but he does this every single day for 4 or 5 hours straight, like always. So I think he's like top level at his work, and hopefully one day, let's say like in 4 years, I can be 20% of what PrimeaGen is today. Let's see how it goes. Exxon13 is saying, hi Nuno, doesn't your head hurts after some time with that headphones? I have the same. It hurts so bad after a while. It doesn't, man. I use this literally 12 hours a day, probably more, even when I'm doing sports, and I have no problems at all. Sashta is asking, what is your preferred way of handling translations in a large Laravel app? I don't actually use translations on any large Laravel app, so I cannot help you with that. I apologize about that. AG Zach is saying, I loved his Laracon talk. Me too, man. I literally cried when he was talking, his motivational speech, because I resonate with a bunch of his struggles, especially in the early stage of my career. Something a lot of people don't know, but I actually faced a lot of anxiety when I was in university, and most of it, if not all of it, was related to the fact that I had literally a lecture about Laravel, and the professor didn't like me that much, and I was literally having anxiety because of that, because the only thing I could think about is the guy making fun of me because I didn't know Laravel, and now I'm literally working with Laravel every single day, and also working for Laravel, which is, life gives you, teach you so many things, man. It's just crazy. Anyways, his Laracon talk was fantastic, man. I loved his Laracon talk. Jonas, thank you so much for the bits on Twitch. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Peek and Flow is saying, I have cried on his talk. In the tribe talk the woman gave, I forgot her name. Wasn't Cap? I think it was Cap, yeah. Exit 13 is saying they are super great, but I have that issue like after 1-2 hours. Maybe it's because I don't hear them too often. So something you can try is take off the reduction noise feature. Maybe that will help you out. Adrian is saying is Cappy Hey. Yeah, that was the person doing that talk. AG Zach is saying, inspiring story, man. Kudos. I don't know if it's inspiring or not, but it was just a reality. Like, literally when I was in university, that lecture in particular, that lecture about Laravel was, you know, causing me so much anxiety for some reason, because of literally the professor not being cool with me. And, you know, and it's just funny that now I'm literally working for Laravel after all this time. Anyways.
Haven't we already ran our migration? Isn't this all crazy now? Or maybe we haven't ran the migration. Maybe it was just created, but we haven't ran it yet. How much do you want to bet that's the case? We haven't migrated the database since we added the migration. Yeah. Called it. Okay. Anyways, PHP Artisan migrate. Okay. There we go. So now it's done this. So I bet you if we went back here and we did show...
Yeah, obviously he knows a little bit about migrations, for example. He just mentioned that he has to run migrations. So some of these terms are actually, you know, generic across languages and ecosystems as well.
Did I do that correct? Is that how the kids do it? Right? Chirp all. Oh, hey. Awesome. She chirped on my Laravel until I breezed. I think I did this right.
Yeah, PHP Artisan Tinker is overrated, man. It's so cool literally being able to, you know, do something like app models chirp and get them all. It's pretty cool stuff.
I'm pretty sure I did this right.
All right, folks, let's move forward a little bit to the end of the live stream to see what are his takes on Laravel at the end. Because I feel like he will probably successfully finish this tutorial. There is a very likelihood that he will actually end up finishing this. Yeah, I can already see like he literally was able to save one chirp at the end. Here we go.
There we go. Awesome. UTC -1 for some reason. Bro, the new Twitter's looking good. Thank you. It's called Chirper. Oh, my mustache hair just went backwards and went into my nose. Like it went right up the old nose hole.
Also helps. Also happens to me sometimes.
Delete. There we go. And I'm going to probably have to do the exact same thing for delete.
Yeah, he is actually nailing the tutorial basically at this point.
PHP. Brand new Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Alex, thank you for that. I hate support for sending notifications across a variety of delivery channels, including email, SMS, and Slack, plus and with the Illuminati. There's the Illuminati limiting things. Action, go to URL. Line, thank you.
Oh, it will actually do everything, even the notifications part. That's nice.
5 gifted subs. All right, dispatching the event. Okay, we're going to do the events chirp created, fillable, dispatch events, Oh.
Just by the way, I never use events on Laravel. I'm like full all in on actions, and I've made literally a live stream about that how actions are actually a way more clear way of developing Laravel applications, and events can be a little bit magical to me. You know what I mean? By the way, I'm just curious, like I've been so public about how actions can literally make my code so much more cleaner. What did you guys thought about my opinions on that? Are you guys like full as well on actions, or you guys are using something else?
Well, oh really? Okay, so dispatches events affect. I honestly thought I was going to put it in the code, so that means work. Wait, well.
Pick and Flow is saying, I would have loved this tutorial when I first started back in Laravel 5. It goes over so much. Yeah, we didn't have any tutorial for a long time, actually. I think, you know, we have added this bootcamp probably 1 year ago by Jess Archer. But before that, we didn't actually have like a tutorial online. People would probably record to, you know, other type of tutorials online to see how to develop a full stack web application with Laravel. Adrian is saying 100% into actions. In Toa as well. Zeno is saying, I'm using events in jobs, and I agree it's a little bit too magical when combined together. I agree with you, man. Pick and Flow is saying, I like how you use it actions, but I have a question. Are you using actions to exclusion of services classes, or you use both? So I actually talked about that on my live stream number 2. So typically I use only services like the folder itself to things that communicate with the outside of the app, you know, like APIs, you know, or any sort of external services that it's not handled internally by the app. You know what I mean? So everything goes from the controllers and then to actions, where I do encapsulate any logic within a DB transaction. And if, let's say, for example, that given action is creating an external service on a different API. So I would inject the service on that actual action to do the thing within the action, you know? But yeah, services is literally only for communicating with the outside world. So for example, here, if I could potentially have this mailing services, for example, and inside I would potentially have something like, you know, I don't know, mail hog or whatever, p.php. So services is literally only for this kind of external services. You know what I mean? Everything else literally stays on actions. That's it. So to answer your question, Pick and Flow, I use both, okay? Chili Hilly is asking me for link to Prime's video. Check his Twitter account, because we are literally watching his video from the Twitter account. Adrian is also saying that he prefers Laracast to Bootcamp. Love Laracast. It's a great platform. Pick and Flow regarding the services in actions, that is saying that it makes a lot of sense, especially semantically. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Ryan B is asking me if I ever try to use event sourcing like verbs. So we literally have a live stream probably like 2 weeks ago, where I have tried verbs and actually build an application using verbs to see what is event sourcing about. And I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like verbs fits perfectly into this actions perspective that I have. It feels like actions, but on event sourcing. I'm going to be honest, you know what I mean? So very big fan of verbs. I actually want to try as well Spassy is event sourcing package to see how different it is from verbs. Philip Petrivok is asking me if I call events inside your actions or not. I don't call events within my actions or at any place, really. I don't use events. So what I don't like about events is that I don't know what's happening on my project. You know what I mean? Because I'm literally like, let's say, creating a user and then creating, let's say, a to-do model, for example. The last thing I want is have to think if there is any sort of thing listening to that created event and sending emails potentially, you know. I just hate that. I just hate the fact that events are not predictable. You know what I mean? Ryan B is saying, I never used it actions myself. Well, if you use it verbs, that kind of shares a little bit of the actions way that I'm used to use, you know what I mean? Sire is asking me, what are your thoughts about the repository pattern? I never use that. I think it's a programmatic term that it used to be very used on the Laravel ecosystem, probably on the Laravel community, probably like 10 years ago. It's not anymore. I don't think people are using it anymore. It's not a thing anymore, you know? Zeno1337 is asking me how Laravel Cloud is structured internally. Is using actions or a combination of? It's fully using actions. And yeah, it's pretty much how I have built some of the streams here, which is actions, and I use chain actions, for example. So if I delete like a top level user, I will call the delete action on every single resource the user have, you know, so it's literally just actions. Itziko13 is asking me if services are only for third-party stuff. How about internal database handling? Do you use repository or what? No, I just use regular models on Laravel. So if you have an action which the goal is creating a to-do, for example, I will have a create to-do, which receives the user creating the to-do, will receive the remaining attributes through the argument of the action, and it will literally call to-do create on the action itself. So no repositories. Oh, by the way, apologize. I want to get back in one statement. I use events only for stuff like reverb, just like DKDev420 is saying. So typically after, let's say, create to do action, I receive all the parameters, I do DB transaction, I create everything I need to do on a database, I close the transaction, I commit the transaction. At the end, I broadcast events to the front end so the JavaScript can react to it. You know what I mean? So I want to clarify that. I use events only for front end, literally, okay? That's the only thing I use on events. Because I mean, it's the only thing that I don't know about, literally. So I just kind of have to use events through broadcasting, as AG Zach is saying. So I typically use broadcast, the event name, and then two others. That's what I do. Testo is asking me if that will be a Breeze Svelte package. I have no idea, man.
Was it? Oh, Q work, yeah. Oh, not yeah. Oh, we didn't do it right. Okay. Well, let's see. Fatal error cannot extend interface.
So in case you don't know, this thing you are seeing right now, it's called Collision, and it was my very first open source project being included on Laravel itself. And it's still being used today. It's kind of crazy. 230 million total downloads, this little snippet right here. It's a little bit crazy. Adam is asking me if I have a simple app on GitHub with actions and services or a tutorial. Yeah, man, I have a YouTube video. Go to my YouTube channel. Actually, can someone do that right now? Go to my YouTube channel and search for a video called The Action Sauce. I think that's the name of the YouTube video. And we can probably watch the YouTube video after this reaction right here.
Should Q, why not? I bet you we're missing something, right?
What time is it?
Let's see, cannot extend this. Why? Why not?
Okay.
What's the problem? What does it say? I got one. Okay, Laravel can be deployed to any DigitalOcean.
I want to kind of see his reaction at the end, like what was his opinion about the tutorial. I feel like, you know, it was very good during the tutorial. There was not problems or things he didn't know about. I think it was very positive overall as experience.
Not gonna do it. Leak. But no, we're not leaking. We're not leaking. Okay. What did to me?
Couple of air.
No.
Might.
You're supposed to have that link here.
Why are you shrinking to the bottom left, Prime?
Right,
I
and I'm going to various infrastructure providers. Lightsail is very good for this, Fly.io. And I'm going to get a hold of Thor, and we're going to do a hack and stash, okay? Yeah? What did... Oh, Flip is... Okay, Flip.
Do you guys know if he actually have a like do you guys know if he actually have something that, you know, just a small statement about his opinion about Laravel? Check.
As that. All right. Let's see, man, that's going to take so much effort to do that. Oh, look, hey, it's Jess Archer. Hi, Jess Archer. All right, I'm not going to do that. Bros, no sniffing. Forge for simplicity, choice of providers, and for being budget-friendly on smaller applications.
So hopefully Laravel Cloud will appear on this list, you know, next year, actually.
The Vapor later if you want scalability of serverless. Sign up for a free trial with Laravel Forge and then pick your server provider, AWS, Linode, DigitalOcean, Voltaire, and Hetzner, and custom VPS server. Not sure who to pick? We recommend DigitalOcean for their generous credit, great user interface, and excellent features. This actually feels like an ad read. Did I just ad read? did I just give you guys the AIDS? Did I just hashtag AIDS you guys? I'm gonna need Laravel. I'm gonna need like 10 grand for that. Okay. Yeah, I know it's kind of expensive. Yeah. Or Linode, or DigitalOcean.
Zach is saying that he didn't actually say anything about the tutorial.
From them.
Okay.
Yeah, minimum disk control. Okay, and I'm gonna get a hold of Thor, and we're gonna do a hack and stash. Okay. All right, on to. I actually don't even like you guys.
Okay.
No, it's why is Discord like that? Okay, that's awesome.
And it's spreading what?
So let's recap a little bit. What does, how was this experience with PrimeaGen on Laravel? I overall think that, I was happy to see that PrimeaGen literally was able to do the full tutorial and kind of walk through the Laravel ecosystem. And how many times this was? Probably 1 to 2 hours, which, it's kind of expected if you are starting with Laravel from scratch to do a full application in 2 hours. I think it's very, it was a successful outcome, So happy that he was able to do that. And I know that potentially he's like doing this right now because he actually wants to receive Taylor on his stream. At least that was what he said at the beginning of the stream. So happy about this, man. I think it was a very good reaction. And I loved the stream today about this, okay? All right, folks, you guys want to see the video real quick about actions? Say yes if yes. Otherwise, I think we are ending this stream today, right now. You guys want to check the action sauce thing? Okay, let's do that right now real quick. Okay, let's do it. This is like pure gold on. Okay, so let's move my face. Can I do it? I don't think I can. Yeah. All right, dudes, let's check this real quick. So if you don't know, again, I'm publishing a YouTube video every single day on my YouTube channel at 1 p.m. Typically, that YouTube video contains the highlights of one stream, for example. And on this case, I've done a full stream about actions. So I have literally an entire stream of 2 hours potentially on actions. So if you want to check that out, go do it because it's literally, a full stream about how I do action on my project. So I have compiled that stream into a video of 4 minutes, which I think we can react to it real quick. This is like pure gold on Laravel. What do you guys think? So actions is my favorite thing ever because it basically allows you to abstract a particular logic in your code that gets fully agnostic from HTTP or from the console. Yeah, so that's the first point on actions, is that if you are receiving on the given action literally just regular attributes, for example, your model, but also the content of the thing you are about to create, you can literally call that actions on the HTTP layer or on the console layer or on the queue layer, like literally everywhere. And it doesn't depend on anything, like the HTTP request, for example. And you can also test that action in isolation. So potentially if you have a lot of different paths within the action, for example, you can literally just test that without thinking about the HTTP requests, which I think is a very cool thing. Zach is saying, I love actions. I discovered them from Jeffrey Way, I think. Yeah, I mean, actions was, before this being actions, people were calling this self-handling commands or whatever it was called, because back in the days, like, probably 15 years ago or 10 years ago, everyone was talking about the command bus. The command bus was what everyone liked it and everyone was, doing on their Laravel applications. But then at some point, people start to realize that the handler was always the same as the command itself. So what people start doing is that instead of having two different files, I'm going to just put the handle mixed in with the attributes of the action, so I can have a single file basically. So that was being called back then the self-handling command bus, and over the years people give it another name. Now it's being called actions, but literally having a single class that does only one thing is not new. It's something that exists for a while. Okay. You know what I mean? So an action could be something like create to do. Okay, this is an action. It will be a class. But the goal of this is you can call create to do anywhere. It can be on the console, it can be on the HTTP layer, it can be on the jobs layer. It doesn't really matter because it's fully agnostic, okay? And the way it works, did I just said this? Like, Nuno is repeating what Nuno said. Isn't that crazy? Digging Guzman is saying that we also do this at work. That's nice, man. Nice to read that. The way I usually do this is the following. By the way, if you just arrived to the stream, my name is Nuno. I am a PHP Laravel developer, Laravel core team member, and I'm streaming about PHP and Laravel. Today, we are actually reacting to my own video, which is about the action pattern on Laravel applications. If you enjoy my content, please give me a follow. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I go to my... And for those who are watching me on YouTube, give me a like, okay? Don't forget that. App folder, so it's agnostic from the HTTP, so I can literally create this folder, call it actions, and I'm going to create an action with a name, create to do, okay? The action name always starts with a verb, which can be create, update, or delete, and then is a resource. On this particular case, we are literally creating the to-do, so let's just call this create to-do. Our action will be simple, so starting with a PHP tag, namespace on top, app actions, you know, and then we have a class with a name, create action. Typically, the name of the action method will be handle. That's the name. Yeah, like here I have actually recommended the handle method, but you can in theory use whatever you want to. You can call this run, you can call this execute, you can make this invocable, doesn't really matter, okay? The goal of this is that you have a single entry point on the action itself, you know what I mean? Agizak is saying, cannot wait for Nuno reacting to Nuno, reacting to Nuno. That would be fun though. I do, okay? And typically returns, on this particular case, will return the to-do itself, okay? We still have to work on that. Okay, let's run Pint on this to clear out our coding style, and it's passing as expected. And this will actually execute the action. You see, this is, today we're talking on the live stream, like how I use, like literally every time, PHP annotations. This is one example. Like, I have probably like more than 100 actions on Laravel Cloud. All of them have a handle method. So it's pretty damn clear what this execute action is doing, but I still write this. You know what I mean? So it's still funny, you know what I mean? Samudeep is asking me if this is the command handler. Yeah, that's right, man. So people in the past, I don't know if a lot of people here know what the command bus pattern is, but it's literally abstracting, you know, if we were to implement the command bus pattern on this little code we are seeing right now, would be have a class for the attributes and the other class to handle those attributes. So one class will be the data of that new to-do, and the other class will be the handler, which will basically take that data and actually persist the given to-do on a database. But at some point, people start realizing that why would I have two classes if there is most of the times, if not always, only one handler for this given data? So I'm going to just have the handle method itself on the class. They start calling in this the self-handling command bus, basically. Okay, I don't know if this is actually a thing. I remember this being discussed back in the days. Zeno1337 is asking me if my actions return void like event listeners. No. So some of my actions actually return the resource itself. For example, this create to do will very likely to return the to do itself. You know what I mean? DVDev420 is asking me what do I think about the Laravel Actions package. I don't use it. I don't know what that is about. I like this pretty little comments which gives my code some space to breathe. I don't know what you guys feel about that. All right, so I don't know either. I have no idea. Now we do have an action. So we actually need to work on creating this thing. So the first thing we accept on this action is the user creating the action. So this will be the actual user. And then typically what I do is either describe here what I actually need for the to-do. Typically I encapsulate the SamuDeep is saying I'm actually using the command handler pattern with commands plus the handler split between two different classes. Yeah, so SamuDeep, I have a question for you, by the way. Do you typically have more than one handler for the same data class, for example, or you always end up, you know, with one handler in one data class, basically? Because if you do, like, why not having a single class, basically? You know what I mean? Jakey Boy, the original, is saying, I love the space to breathe thing. I don't know if that's a valid, you know, thing, but indeed for me, I like to have some space on my code, literally a lot of space, you know? It's within a simple attributes array, so I can be a little bit flexible in the future. Yeah, I don't always do this. Here I'm accepting an array of stuff, but I think it was because of simplifying a little bit the, you know, the video, but I don't always use an array of attributes. I do sometimes accept like literally every single attribute with type hints, so I can have, you know, some more type safety. And this will call my, you know, my to-do create with Duke10 is asking me if I use private methods on actions or I just have them all on the same public method. It depends, man. If I don't like to have more than, you know, 5, 6, 7 lines per method. So if I feel that my public method is just being too big, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't, you know, split that between a private method. But for example, if my public method is getting big because of the amount of data I'm giving to a model, I feel that's fine, you know what I mean? So it really depends. The user ID, the description, and just seal it. Now I want to tell you something about actions that I always do. Typically actions on real applications, they won't be this simple, okay? It's not about just creating a model and that's it. So typically what I do is that I use this DB transaction, and then I perform all my DB operations inside, you know, DB stuff, you know, or potentially other stuff. So I do all. I'm actually seeing a comment here. This comment was actually during the live stream. Someone was suggesting like passing a DTO instead of having like literally, you know, literally all the attributes like this. But passing a DTO will end up being a little bit like more the command handler, which is you have like a specific data class for the attributes. So I don't know, man, you know what I mean? SamuDeep is saying that if you want to serialize the data of the command inside of class is easier. Yeah, but I mean, my actions typically, they are always processed at runtime. So any kind of, you know, difficult job or job that takes a little bit more time, that would be processed at BQ jobs. Okay. Zeno1337 is saying, don't we lose the type type inference? I think that's what you mean. Don't we lose type inference when wrapping the attributes array? We don't actually lose it if you use PHP standard notations, which is what I typically do. Jukachen is asking me if your actions need 10 parameters, do you pass them one by one? No, I typically receive them through an array of arguments. That's why I was saying that sometimes I receive like literally 1, 2, 3 arguments, but other times I do receive them like literally within an array, and I annotate that array with some PHP standard annotations. All of everything here. So if on the task, let's say task 3, this stuff fails, this will lead to kind of a rollback in all my database operations. You know what I mean? So this is typically what I... Can you guys see the difference on Lightning? So literally I took some of the money I received from Twitch this month to literally buy this Lightning right here, which is so much better than the Lightning I was using on the video. You guys can see that on the video, I have no Lightning at all. And now I have literally the Lightning coming from here, which just makes, you know, my face so much better, I feel like, you know. I call DB transaction, I do a bunch of stuff inside, and if this thing fails on the last one, I'm sure that the DB, yeah, basically all my actions use DB transactions, even when it's nested. This perfectly works on Laravel. integrity will still be okay. Finally, there is one little thing I do, which is the only thing you need to ensure is that every event you have in the end needs to be dispatched after transaction. So you need to ensure that you have that as an interface in your events. Once my operation is fully complete, I typically... Ducaten is asking me, what do you mean when nested? So imagine like an action called delete user. So before deleting a user, you need to delete all of the to-dos of the user, for example. So typically what I have is, you know, delete user, which have the responsibility of deleting the user on the database, but I inject on the constructor of the action the delete to-do, and then for each one of the to-dos on my handle method, I call that given action, so I can delete them, every single one individually, before deleting the user itself. So that's what I meant by nested. Matt Fagan is asking me, which editor is this? This is PHP Stormman. Also broadcast something like to do created, two others. This two others is pure gold. Okay, so it is, man. Like if you work with React and Vue front ends, like the two others is pretty cool, because if you have something like a to-do, for example, you know, and you are creating the to-do on the back end, and you can literally already have the to-do on the front end. But when you are broadcasting that a to-do got created, the last thing you want is that same front end of the user who have created the to-do to react to it. You don't need to react to it because the user already have the information that he created the to-do. But what you need to is broadcast that information to the others, to other browsers, other tabs, other users, so they can receive that to-do in their list. So that's what this two others is about, which is a very, you know, mind-blowing feature of broadcasting in Laravel. It's so bread and butter, like everyone needs this, even if you don't know it, you know? Arthur C03 is asking me if all of this happens in runtime. Yeah, man, it's pure magic. It's pure magic on Laravel. I was mind blown when I found this feature on Laravel. It's so cool, man. It was like, oh my God, I was needing this for so much time, and you know, it was right here, literally right here. AG Zach is saying transactions should have quick DB operations to avoid deadlocks. So most people, not everyone, and probably I don't think you also think that, but most people think that transactions cause the entire table to lock, which is not true. So something like MySQL, for example, we have row level locking, which is if we are doing a DB transaction, creating, for example, a new row, only that row will be locked, basically, you know? So you can do whatever you want to, and the table will still be available. You can update any other row, you can insert new rows if you want to. It's called row level locking, and it's available on MySQL. That's why this is, I'm literally having all the actions on Laravel Cloud encapsulated on DB transactions, and there is no deadlocks whatsoever, basically. Typically, if you would do something like just broadcast, just like this, what happens is that the UI, which, you know, you created, it notify the other guys, and then they will hit, you know, that reload on their side. This is like pure gold on Laravel. What do you guys think? That was the video, man. So if you want to watch this video, go to my YouTube channel. But I have other videos on my YouTube channel that I think you will really like. You know, I'm going to post here the link. Obviously, if you are watching me from YouTube, you already know. But for those who are on Twitch, you can go there and also subscribe if you want to. You know, it's a video per day. I have the video already scheduled for tomorrow. And, you know, it's kind of cool stuff over there. AGZac is saying, what if another user creates a new row? They will have both the same ID. Again, that's not true again. So if you have two DB transactions at the same time and both create a new user, both will have two different IDs, basically. That happens automatically, and it's automatically managed by MySQL. Dude, MySQL is so powerful on these kind of things. I believe it's the same thing with Postgres and SQLite, to be honest. Otherwise stuff like DB transactions will be unmanaged and unthinkable to real production applications. You know what I mean? But yeah, so what happens, by the way, if in case you are curious, is that let's say, for example, on the task number 3, this little thing fails and the row is not created on the database, that ID will never get used again. That's something that happens automatically by MySQL. I loved today's stream, man. I hope everyone had fun today. I loved today's stream, reacting to PrimeaGen, but most importantly, being here with you all, discussing on the chat. This is what I like the most on my streaming, is literally being able to discuss with people and to be a little bit more geek with people, you know. I'm a geek, you know, and I love to discuss technology, and being able to have so many people passionate like yourselves here on the stream, it's really something that I love to do. And, you know, that was truly fun for me. Thank you so much for being here today. By the way, for those who are Twitch subscribers, I have 2 new emojis. Can you guys let me know if they are even working? The first emoji should be the Laravel emoji, and the second emoji should be the PHP emoji. Are they even working? I have no idea, but I have uploaded them yesterday. Zach is saying, I need to do some more researching, referring to the PHP, the MySQL transaction. Yeah, search for MySQL row level locking on transactions, and you will find more, you know, documentation about that. I was also surprised by how well that is managed by MySQL. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using transactions on any of my production applications. Okay, I can see that everyone is spamming emojis and they are working expected. So I would like to personally thank you everyone who was here on the stream today. It was pure fun for me. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully we are keep making history on these streams and, you know, keep having fun all together. So thank you so much for being here today. Let's find someone to raid. We always do that. Don't forget that. If you don't know, if you're watching from YouTube and you don't know what this is, Tua, thank you so much for the gifted sub. And the gifted sub end up going to Adrian. So thank you so much for that. Sockdown just used 500 bits, so thank you so much for that. And he's asking me, what do I use for terminal colors, branches, etc.? What do you mean by terminal branches, by the way? I apologize, man. I don't know what you mean. Terminal branches? I don't know what you mean, man. I apologize. I have a Discord channel, by the way, which you can ask Nuno over there. I have a channel there on my Discord, which you can literally use to make me questions over there. But yeah. Oh, okay. So Sockdown was referring to literally these errors I'm using on my terminal. So I'm using MyZSH, which you can find. Can anyone write the MyZSH link to people? Oh, I think Shasta already did. So check this, Google for this, call it MyZSH. It's literally a bash, which gives you this really nice UI for the terminal. And I'm literally a user of MyZSH for, you know, for 10 years already, I think. I'm a big fan of it. So it gives you this UI. By the way, the colors are literally, if you have a command with an exit code successfully, like running a test suite and it's passing, you will have the green arrow. If you have a test suite failing, you will have the red arrow, you know. So yeah, MyZSH, we got the answer. All right, dudes, let's find someone to raid. Who we have today? Let me check real quick on the developers live if we have someone doing Laravel or PHP online at the moment, and we don't. I'm the only one. Okay, that sucks a little bit. Do you guys know anyone we can raid, by the way? Yeah, I know that is a lot of different bashes, you know, but I'm typically a fan of MyZSH since the early days, you know. And it just works, so I'm just using it forever, basically. Okay, let's go here to the software and game development as usual on Twitch and try to find someone. Would be cool to find someone doing PHP and Laravel as usual. It's not always easy, I know that, but let's see. Okay, so this is React development. What this is. Game development. Do we have anyone doing Laravel? Let me check. We have myself doing Laravel. Can you guys find anyone, please? That would be really helpful. Arthur is saying I cannot find anyone. Oh my god, it's always the same problem. I have literally no idea. I think I'm going to raid possibly SM Refine Key, which is, you know, someone I've been raiding already, and he have like 53 viewers. He is doing apparently some JavaScript on the front end, so I think I'm going to raid him. Okay, folks, again, thank you so much for being here today. It was a lovely stream. I had a lot of fun with you all today. And I hope, you know, we can have fun again Sunday, because tomorrow I'm actually not streaming because I'm going to have fun with family. So I'll catch you all next time. Thank you so much and peace out.